Chapter 1412. How could this be? This brat single-handedly killed a rank 9 ancient god of the blazing gold race? Ancient god Blue Distance found it rather hard to believe. In the ancient desolate realm of gods, it wasn't rare for someone of a higher level to kill someone of a lower level, but it mostly happened when someone of a higher level bloodline killed someone of a lower level bloodline. For races like the spiritual race and blazing gold race, which were ranked at the very top, this sort of thing rarely happened. It was for this reason that Zhao Feng's current actions were viewed with such importance and shock. Alas, very few people present had seen how Zhao Feng killed the black-clothed man. Ancient god Blue Distance and the Celestial Net Sect Master working together were far from being a match for Ancient god Shadow Death, so they were too nervous to see. As for the other members of the Celestial Net Sect, they were facing two peak rank 8 experts. If it weren't for the fact that they had the advantage in numbers, they would have been completely wiped out. The only people who clearly saw it were Ancient god Shadow Death and the other two peak rank 8s of the blazing gold race. This can't be true. He actually killed a rank 9 ancient god of the blazing gold race? The two peak rank 8s saw the entire process, but they still didn't dare to believe it. Zhao Feng had reached peak rank 8 in less than 10 years. His cultivation foundation should have been extremely unstable, so how could he have such formidable strength? This brat, he's hiding something. Ancient god Shadow Death was alarmed. They had infiltrated this place to prepare for a sneak attack to the intense battle. Zhao Feng's expression hadn't changed much. But just when Ancient god Shadow Death was preparing to retreat, Zhao Feng suddenly killed the black-clothed man in a single blow. Although it was just one move, Ancient god Shadow Death could faintly sense the powerful soul energy on Zhao Feng's body. Retreat! Ancient god Shadow Death bellowed as he began to retreat. Zhao Feng was far too powerful, and they had just lost a rank 9 ancient god. If they continued to stay, they might be completely wiped out. Retreat! Ancient god Blue Distance was stunned. When he and the Celestial Net Sect Master worked together to fight Ancient god Shadow Death, they had always been on edge, afraid that their opponent would find some opening. But now, it was Ancient god Shadow Death's side that chose to retreat. All of this was because Zhao Feng had killed the rank 9 ancient god of the blazing gold race. Great! The Tian Luo sect master beamed with joy. This time, the Tian Luo sect managed to turn the situation around and defeated their enemies. All the Tian Luo sect members heaved a sigh of relief. You want to leave? Zhao Feng suddenly laughed. Zhao Feng's figure flashed, and he arrived beside the black-armored old man who was closest to him. No, the black-armored elder grimaced. Zhao Feng could casually kill rank 9 ancient gods of the blazing gold race, so wouldn't killing them be even easier? He immediately activated his secret technique and burned his divine power. A layer of golden flames rose from his body. Shio! The black-armored elder immediately sped up, becoming as fast as a rank 9 ancient god. He transformed into a streak of golden light that shot off into the distance. Chaos Origin Divine Sword. Zhao Feng's left eye rippled once more as Chaos Origin Divine Power condensed into a miniature Chaos Origin Divine Sword. Shio! A moment later, a miniature sword of dark silver energy shot out of Zhao Feng's left eye. In the distance, the black-armored elder, who had only just begun to flee, was pierced through by the Chaos Origin Divine Sword. His body shattered, and his soul was obliterated. Zhao Feng didn't need to expose his powerful soul intent to deal with a peak rank 8 ancient god. Moreover, he had already killed a rank 9 ancient god, so killing a peak rank 8 shouldn't be much of a problem. How terrifying! On the other side, the golden-masked young man shuddered at the sight of this scene. You stay behind as well. Zhao Feng's eyes once more locked onto the golden-masked youth. No. The golden-masked youth felt like the god of death was staring at him, and he immediately burned his divine power to flee. In the blink of an eye, the golden-masked youth had escaped from everyone's line of sight. At this moment, a miniature Chaos Origin Divine Sword shot out of Zhao Feng's left eye and vanished. A moment later, everyone heard a scream and the aura of a soul perishing. Let's go! Ancient god Shadow Death gave Zhao Feng a deep glance, and then his body melted into the darkness and vanished. A few moments later, 3 of the Blazing Gold Race's 4 experts had been slain. This instantly killed a peak rank 8? Ancient God Blue Distance trembled as he stared at Zhao Feng like he was a monster. A rank 8 ancient god of the Blazing Gold Race could be killed with a single glance from Zhao Feng. This meant that in Zhao Feng's eyes, he could also be killed with a single glance. At this moment, Ancient God Blue Distance recalled how he had intentionally targeted Zhao Feng, and he suddenly felt like death had brushed past his shoulder. Given the strength Zhao Feng had displayed, even if he killed Ancient God Blue Distance, the spiritual race wouldn't severely punish him. To think that he would be this powerful. The Celestial Net Sect Master's face was covered in shock. He had already sensed that Zhao Feng was unfathomable and was hiding something. He hadn't expected for Zhao Feng's true strength to be so terrifying. He could kill a rank 9 ancient god and instantly kill an expert of the same level. The Celestial Net Sect disciples were also stunned and worshipful, their eyes unable to move away from Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng, you've rendered a great service this time. I will report this to the spiritual race and heavily reward you. Ancient God Blue Distance immediately flew over, a smile on his face. He had never imagined that Zhao Feng had been hiding his strength this entire time. At this moment, he only hoped that Zhao Feng wouldn't hold a grudge against him and his father. If he could get on good terms with Zhao Feng, that would naturally be even better. With Zhao Feng's potential, becoming a god lord in the future wouldn't be much of a problem. There's no need for that. We won because of everyone's efforts. Zhao Feng had a carefree expression on his face. After saying this, he returned to his residence. Ice Origin, remember, in the future, you can't provoke him. It's best if you can get on good terms with Zhao Feng. Ancient God Blue Distance messaged Ancient God Ice Origin. Yes. Ancient God Ice Origin softly replied, a rather unpleasant feeling in his heart. Within a cold and secluded underground palace. Swish. A pitch-black stream suddenly flew in, transforming into an emaciated elder. On the bed of ice jade in front of Ancient God Shadow Death was a graceful woman, her back to Ancient God Shadow Death. Although her back was to Ancient God Shadow Death, her clothes were incapable of concealing her alluring body. Her fair and slender legs were exposed, as flawless as jade. Failed. Ancient God Ice Flame's cold voice rang out. Zhao Feng was hiding his true strength. The other 3 people who traveled with me are all dead. Ancient God Shadow Death lowered his head and clenched his teeth. Kaboom! The bed of ice jade suddenly began to seethe with cold flames, and Ancient God Ice Flame's body slowly vanished in the flames. But a moment later, Ancient God Ice Flame appeared at Ancient God Shadow Death's side. Ancient God Shadow Death's body was instantly covered in a layer of ice, and the blood in his body almost froze. It seems like I'll have to personally take action. A faint smile appeared on Ancient God Ice Flame's beautiful face. The Blazing Gold Race had sent 2 rank 9 ancient gods this time, but they had still failed. This was certain to attract the attention of the spiritual race, which would send even more people to the Celestial Net Sect. Ancient God Ice Flame would not permit herself to fail, so she had personally taken action this time. Ancient God Shadow Death was stunned. Ancient God Ice Flame was planning to personally deal with a peak rank 8? But he did not dare to question Ancient God Ice Flame's intentions. Yes, yes. Ancient God Shadow Death repeatedly nodded. A few days later, the Celestial Net Sect returned to normal. All the members of the Celestial Net Sect were resting and building up their strength. Although the 2 consecutive thrilling battles had caused them to suffer heavy casualties, they had also sharpened their skills. Within the space-time robe, Zhao Feng was currently cultivating many intents. The further one cultivated an intent, the harder it was to improve. Even Zhao Feng, who had many precious resources and incredible comprehension abilities, needed to spend a great deal of time cultivating them. Besides cultivating intents, Zhao Feng would occasionally cultivate the Chaos Heaven Void Ring. Suddenly, Zhao Feng opened his eyes and left the space-time robe. A moment later, the temperature plummeted as a layer of icy mist began to pervade the area. Many members of the Celestial Net Sect were alarmed by this sudden chill. Moreover, this chill was getting stronger and stronger, and many places in the Celestial Net sect were covered in ice. Oh no! The Celestial Net sect leader immediately realized that something was wrong and flew over the Celestial Net sect. In the distance, the world seemed to freeze as a figure slowly walked through the air. With each step, she crossed tens of thousands of li. In the blink of an eye, she had reached the Celestial Net sect. At this moment, ancient god Iceflame was like a goddess of ice. Her face was supreme, but it exuded a chill that no one dared to approach. A gust of frigid cold assaulted the Tianluo sect from all directions. If not for the defensive array, all the disciples of the Celestial Net sect below the ancient god level would have been instantly killed by this cold. Ancient god Blue Distance and his son also appeared outside. Half-step, God Lord. Ancient god Blue Distance sensed ancient god Iceflame's powerful energy and blurted out in shock. At this moment he really wanted to run. But could he escape? Ancient god Blue Distance was depressed. Ever since Zhao Feng arrived, the Blazing Gold Race's attacks had been getting fiercer and fiercer. The first time, it was a rank 9 ancient god, and the second time, it was an assassination attempt by 2 rank 9 ancient gods. But this time, it was a half-step god lord. How could this be? A half-step god lord is participating in the battle? Ancient god Ice Origin's body trembled, and he felt like the divine power and blood in his body had been frozen, making it difficult for him to circulate them. How could this be? All the disciples of the Celestial Net sect were dumbfounded and in despair. This time, there was truly no hope. A half-step god lord with the strength of a single hand could destroy the entire Celestial Net sect. As expected, a half-step god lord. Zhao Feng's eyes dimmed. You are Zhao Feng, right? An interested smile appeared on ancient god Iceflame's cold face. Is it time for me to reveal my true strength? Zhao Feng ignored ancient god Iceflame and fell into thought. But suddenly, his eyes flashed and his expression relaxed. Kaboom! The sky behind Shaochen trembled slightly. A white, icy mist descended with a great pressure of the heavens and the earth. This is? Ancient god Blue Distance and all the members of the Celestial Net sect immediately looked behind them. From within the ice crystal mist, a beautiful woman in a green dress descended from the sky. Her posture was dignified and graceful, her face serene and beautiful. Her black brows and clear eyes, and her black hair flowed down her back like a waterfall. She exuded an indescribably noble and elegant aura, like an unreachable fairy. Ancient god Origin Jade. Ancient god Blue Distance's face lit up with joy. The Celestial Net sect respectfully welcomes Elder Origin Jade of the spiritual race. The Celestial Net sect master immediately said. All the members of the Celestial Net sect immediately began to call out in delight. This was because ancient god Origin Jade was a half-step god lord. Moreover, she was the youngest half-step god lord of the spiritual race, the one who had once been crowned the number 1 prodigy of the spiritual race, ancient god Origin Jade. Chapter 1413. The arrival of the spiritual race's ancient god Origin Jade gave the despairing Celestial Net sect a glimmer of hope. Ancient god Iceflame? Ancient god Origin Jade looked at ancient god Iceflame in confusion, but then she sneered. On the other side, ancient god Iceflame stood in the almost frozen world, her body shrouded in a gray-white mist. It's you? Ancient god Iceflame stared at ancient god Origin Jade, the chill in her eyes intensifying. Shio! A pitch-black stream of energy appeared next to ancient god Iceflame. How could that be? How could the spiritual race know that you were coming and send a half-step god lord? Ancient god Shadow Death was secretly alarmed. He originally believed that ancient god Iceflame would be able to resolve everything. To his surprise, a half-step god lord of the spiritual race had arrived. Rumble! 2 beautiful half-step divine lords stood in the void on either side of the heavens and earth. Invisible mighty forces of the heavens and earth collided with each other, causing the void to rumble unceasingly. Everyone in the Celestial Net sect was staring at the 2 half-step god lords. This was not just because of the invisible clash between these 2 half-step god lords, but also because of their alluring appearances. Ancient God Ice Flame was like a fairy of ice and snow, beautiful and proud, while Ancient God Origin Jade was like a queen of crystal and jade, gorgeous and noble. However, the two of them had one thing in common, and that was that they were difficult to approach. The atmosphere between these two half-step god lords is rather strange. You don't know? The two of them were extremely talented from a young age and were proud daughters of the same generation. Adding on the competitive relationship between the spiritual race and the blazing gold race, the two of them competed with each other from a young age. I didn't think that the prodigies of the spiritual race and the blazing gold race would have the chance to fight again. The majority of the people in the Celestial Net sect knew quite a bit about Ancient God Origin Jade and Ancient God Ice Flame. The last time we fought was 800 years ago. Let me see how much you've improved. Ancient God Origin Jade snorted as she rose into the air. Today you will die here. Ancient God Ice Flame's eyes flashed with cold light as she charged forward. Boom. Bang. Heaven and earth suddenly shook. Shocking divine power rippled, and countless ice crystals fell to the ground. Fortunately, the two half-step god lords were fighting rather far from the Celestial Net sect, or else the shockwaves of their battle would have destroyed the entire Celestial Net sect. This is a half-step god lord. The power of level 9 intent truly is extraordinary. The Tian Luo sect master murmured in shock. Ancient God Blue Distance and the other members of the Celestial Net sect were all staring at the distant horizon. However, they could only see two blurry figures colliding with each other in the icy mist. Why are you here? Ancient God Origin Jade directly asked. Logically speaking, it was not yet time for half-step god lords to personally enter the battlefield. Why are you here? Ancient God Ice Flame's expression was frigid. She didn't expect that such an accident would happen even when she personally took action this time. She was confident that Ancient God Origin Jade had a reason for coming here. None of your business. Ancient God Origin Jade was enraged. A dark green crystal sword appeared in her hand and she swung it. Boom. A massive rippling blade of light green crystal pierced through the ice and slashed at Ancient God Ice Flame. Absolute ice shatter. Ancient God Ice Flame extended her jade-like hands and unleashed two balls of chilling gray-white flames. The two balls of flames collided with the massive rippling blade of light green crystal. In a flash, the massive rippling blade of light green crystal began to freeze where the two balls of flames clashed. The entire rippling blade of light green crystal was quickly sealed in ice. Ice shatter. Crystal explosion. The two women roared at the same time. Brum. The frozen rippling blade of light instantly exploded, sending countless shards of ice flying through the world like a miraculous rain of ice crystals. The mountains around the Celestial Net sect were either covered in scars or frozen into peaks of ice. If this continues, the defensive array of the Celestial Net sect won't be able to hold on. The Celestial Net sect master had a bitter expression. Zhao Feng's left eye pierced through all the obstructions to observe the battle between the two half-step god lords. These two are of similar strength, and they're both using all their strength to kill the other. It's very difficult to determine a victor, but they probably won't be able to last for long. The power of their battle will gradually weaken. Zhao Feng analyzed. Ancient God Origin Jade and Ancient God Ice Flame had been mortal enemies since they were young, and they had fought all the way to this day. In this meeting, the two of them were merciless, each of their attacks lethal. A streak of dark light suddenly appeared in Zhao Feng's chaotic vision. Not good. It's someone from the Shadow Race. Zhao Feng grimaced. The Shadow Race's ancient god Shadow Death was skilled in concealment and sneak attacks, seizing on openings to deliver a fatal blow. Under normal circumstances, Ancient God Origin Jade would never have feared a sneak attack from Ancient God Shadow Death. However, Ancient God Origin Jade and Ancient God Ice Flame were evenly matched, and they were both fighting with all their strength. This battle was extremely dangerous and could not afford to be distracted. If Ancient God Origin Jade is defeated, I'll have to reveal my true strength in the end. Zhao Feng's expression darkened as he blinked forward. Brother Zhao, what are you doing? The Celestial Net sect master immediately called out. This kid, does he really think he's that incredible? He actually dares to approach the battlefield of half-step god lords? Ancient God Blue Distance disdainfully smiled at this sight. In the end, he and Zhao Feng had their differences. If Zhao Feng wasn't so strong, he would never have submitted to Zhao Feng. He was more than happy to see Zhao Feng throw his life away. Chaos Origin Divine Sword. In Zhao Feng's left eye, Chaos Origin Divine Power condensed into a miniature Chaos Origin Divine Sword. A miniature Mixed Origin Divine Sword instantly shot out, piercing through countless ice shards and whizzing away. Ancient God Shadow Death, who was just preparing to approach the battlefield of half-step god lords, immediately sensed powerful ripples of energy. This kid. Ancient God Shadow Death's eyes dimmed. If he continued forward, he would be struck by Zhao Feng's attack. He had seen Zhao Feng's attack before, and it was extremely powerful. Damn, such a good chance. Ancient God Shadow Death clenched his teeth and chose to retreat. This time, you don't need to leave alive. Zhao Feng faintly smiled as he pursued Ancient God Shadow Death. Swish. The two of them dodged through the storm of half-step god lords, making it impossible for the members of the Celestial Net sect to see what was going on. Chaos Heaven Void Ring. Chaos Origin Divine Power surged around Zhao Feng, forming a dark silver halo around him. The Chaos Heaven Void Ring exuded a powerful devouring energy that devoured the surrounding energy ripples. This kid's defensive skill can devour other energies to strengthen itself. Ancient God Shadow Death's expression darkened. He immediately distanced himself from the half-step god lord battle, and Zhao Feng followed. This way, your defensive skill can't absorb other energies. Ancient God Shadow Death mentally chuckled. Zhao Feng's fighting with someone else. So that Shadow Race expert was hiding near the battle between the two half-step god lords. Quite a few members of the Celestial Net sect were suddenly enlightened. But Ancient God Shadow Death and Zhao Feng quickly vanished from their sights. After escaping the chaotic battlefield of half-step god lords, Zhao Feng's speed increased, and he quickly caught up to Ancient God Shadow Death. Seeking death. You dare approach me? Ancient God Shadow Death sneered. Although Zhao Feng's eye bloodline techniques were extremely powerful, they would find it very difficult to kill his shadow body in a single blow. Moreover, by using eye bloodline techniques, Zhao Feng would reveal an opening, and in close combat, Ancient God Shadow Death would be able to deliver a lethal blow. Chaos Origin Divine Sword. Zhao Feng transformed the Chaos Heaven Void Ring into a powerful silver sword that he slashed forward. Split Shadow Assassination. Ancient God Shadow Death's pitch-black body twisted and turned into 3 streams of pitch-black energy that dodged Zhao Feng's attack and then darted to Zhao Feng's left, right, and back. This was a secret bloodline art of the Shadow Race. It allowed one to instantly create several clones, each of which had 80 to 90% of the attack power of the main body. If it were any other person, they would definitely be flustered when faced with such a scene in close combat. The 3 black shadows condensed into a pitch-black thorn that stabbed forward. Chaos Origin Void Ring. In the face of this attack, Zhao Feng was unperturbed. He once more used a defensive skill, a dark silver halo of light condensing around his body. At the same time, Zhao Feng's Chaos Origin Divine Sword slashed at the pitch-black shadow behind him. How could this be? Ancient God Shadow Death was taken aback. Zhao Feng had actually sensed his true body. Zhao Feng's sword struck Ancient God Shadow Death's body. Although he did his utmost to dodge, he was still struck. Damn, I underestimated this kid's eye bloodline. Ancient God Shadow Death instantly guessed that it was Zhao Feng's special eye bloodline that allowed him to determine his true body. At the same time, the attacks of his clones arrived. Although the attacks were powerful, the moment they touched the Chaos Origin Void Ring, they began to weaken. Although Ancient God Shadow Death's clones had 80 to 90% of the offensive power of the main body, they were formed from bloodline and divine power, so they were more easily devoured by the Chaos Origin Void Ring. They were far inferior to the attacks of Ancient God Shadow Death's divine artifacts. Retreat. Ancient God Shadow Death was already injured and wanted to retreat. Space-time seal. Zhao Feng's left eye rippled with space-time energy. In a flash, ancient god Shadow Death's body was covered in a strange and illusory energy. His speed plummeted, and in Zhao Feng's eyes, he was like a turtle. And this was because Zhao Feng hadn't used his eye bloodline technique at full power. Otherwise, ancient god Shadow Death would have been completely immobilized. Zhao Feng instantly closed in his Chaos Origin Divine Sword, cutting ancient god Shadow Death in two. BZZ. The two halves of ancient god Shadow Death were like illusions of dark liquid, and through a bizarre method, they began to fuse back together. Normal attacks would find it very difficult to deal lethal damage to the Shadow race. Chaos Heaven Sword Cave. Zhao Feng was already prepared, and the Chaos Origin Divine Sword in his hand unleashed a chaotic array of silver sword images that fused together into a twisted silver sword cave. Ancient god Shadow Death screamed as his body and soul were torn apart and devoured, quickly devoured by the dreadful silver void sword hole. After killing ancient god Shadow Death, Zhao Feng returned to the Celestial Net sect. The battle with ancient god Shadow Death was rather far away, and the entire process was extremely quick, so no one noticed it. Zhao Feng, it's fortunate that you intervened just now and didn't let the Shadow race disturb ancient god Origin Jade. The Celestial Net sect master immediately said. Where's the Shadow race? Ancient god Blue Distance scanned the area with his divine sense, but he did not see ancient god Shadow Death. He won't be coming back. Zhao Feng simply replied. The others didn't think too much about it. After all, they were more concerned about the battle between the two half-step god lords. This was a matter of life and death. Brum. In the sky, the two half-step god lords were still fighting to the death. Damn, her strength is on par with mine. If I insist on fighting to the death, it'll be far too dangerous. Ancient god Ice Flame's eyes were frigid. In addition, this was the territory of the spiritual race. The news of her arrival had already been spread. It probably wouldn't be long before more spiritual race experts arrived. Retreat for now. Ancient god Ice Flame unleashed a massive ball of gray-white flames as she began to retreat. Suddenly, her face froze. Where's ancient god Shadow Death? Ancient god Ice Flame scanned the area with her divine sense but found no sign of ancient god Shadow Death. She only remembered that when ancient god Shadow Death was preparing to ambush ancient god Origin Jade, Zhao Feng intervened, and then the two clashed for a few moments before fleeing into the distance. That useless ancient god Shadow Death was actually pushed back by Zhao Feng. Ancient god Ice Flame didn't care too much about it and immediately retreated. The oppressive energy in the world gradually began to fade. Ancient god Origin Jade did not pursue, instead slowly descending on the Celestial Net sect. The sight of such a noble and beautiful fairy descending made the hearts of many men in the Celestial Net sect thump. But what they didn't expect was, "You're Zhao Feng, right?" Ancient god Origin Jade's eyes locked onto Zhao Feng. This scene made everyone's jaws drop. If they remembered correctly, the first thing ancient god Ice Flame said when she arrived was the same. Why were the proud daughters of the two races all here to find Zhao Feng? Chapter 14:14. It is this one. Zhao Feng was also taken aback. This ancient god Origin Jade had come to find him? You're not bad looking. No wonder Sister Yufei is so hell-bent on you. Ancient god Origin Jade nonchalantly examined Zhao Feng for a while, and then she faintly smiled, a hint of disdain on her face. Yufei? Zhao Feng's expression froze in confusion. However, ancient god Origin Jade's words made Zhao Feng rather dissatisfied. She made it sound like Zhao Yufei liked him because of his appearance. If I hadn't rushed over today, you would have died without a grave. Ancient god Origin Jade looked at the dazed Zhao Feng and snorted. Originally, the battle had not reached the point where half-step god lords had to be mobilized. However, when Zhao Yufei learned that Zhao Feng had returned and was entering the battlefield, she immediately left seclusion and impatiently rushed over. But this battle had been provoked by Zhao Yufei. At this critical juncture, the spiritual race naturally could not let Zhao Yufei go. Under Zhao Yufei's repeated requests, The spiritual race had no choice but to have ancient god Origin Jade prepare to enter the battlefield and take care of Zhao Feng to ensure his safety. Ancient god Origin Jade hadn't expected that she would run into the blazing gold race's ancient god Ice Flame as soon as she arrived. Many thanks for ancient god Origin Jade's prompt arrival. Ancient god Blue Distance and the other members of the Celestial Net sect respectfully said. Many thanks for Elder's assistance. Zhao Feng smiled. Although ancient god Ice Flame couldn't do anything to him, Zhao Feng didn't want to expose himself so early. Ancient god Origin Jade's arrival truly had resolved a problem for him. The blazing gold race's half-step god lords have already appeared on the battlefield. The following battle will only be even more desperate. Take care. Ancient god Origin Jade shot a glance at Zhao Feng before leaving. Although she had heard of Zhao Feng's exploits, Zhao Yufei was the core and future of the spiritual race. Compared to Zhao Yufei, Zhao Feng paled in comparison. In ancient god Origin Jade's mind, Zhao Feng was a man who needed a woman's request and protection. He was truly incapable. The battle has escalated. Ancient god Blue Distance appeared slightly worried. He didn't expect the situation to escalate so quickly. Just as expected, 3 months later, ancient god Origin Jade formally entered the war. On this day, the important executives of the strongholds of the major forces gathered together. The Celestial Net sect's representatives were ancient god Blue Distance, the Celestial Net sect master, and Zhao Feng. In the early stages of the war, the Astros were at a disadvantage. Now, I will personally lead the troops and lead you to reclaim your lost lands. High above, ancient god Origin Jade was the center of attention as she made her declaration like a goddess of victory. At this moment, the sects and clans near the Tian Luo sect gradually gathered together to form a huge army. The next day, the spiritual race army attacked the territory of the blazing gold race. The spiritual race's sudden attack caught the blazing gold race off guard and resulted in a complete victory, allowing them to reclaim some of their territory. But the blazing gold race quickly reacted and dispatched many elite experts to form a similarly powerful army, led by ancient god Ice Flame. It didn't take long before the two armies clashed for the first time. At this moment, the heavens and earth changed colors and winds were thrown into chaos. The entire world was filled with experts of all shapes and sizes. Lightning, fire, ice, and wind of all colors swept through the world. Such an intense battle will help me temper myself. Zhao Feng rejoiced. This sort of chaotic battle was exactly what he had been longing for. First of all, a chaotic battlefield could sharpen one's fighting ability. Second of all, Zhao Feng could use this battlefield to accumulate many war points, which he could use to exchange for cultivation resources. When the time came, he could reveal his rank 9 cultivation so that he wouldn't attract too much attention. Chaos Origin Divine Sword. A dark silver sword of light condensed in Zhao Feng's hands. Swish, swish, swish. His figure flashed across the battlefield. Every time he stopped, he would take 1 or 2 lives. Experts of the same level were slain by Zhao Feng in one blow. In the first clash between the two armies, the spiritual race had the upper hand. In the second and third clashes, the spiritual race was victorious in both cases. And Zhao Feng gradually became famous on the battlefield. On the battlefield, Zhao Feng was like a god of death, instantly slaying opponents of the same level. Even rank 9 ancient gods wouldn't be able to last long against him. Of course, his wanton slaughter had also attracted the attention of the blazing gold race. He's Zhao Feng. Second brother, let's work together and kill him. A pair of blazing gold race brothers viciously stared at Zhao Feng. Although Zhao Feng was only a peak rank 8, killing Zhao Feng would give them almost as many contribution points as killing a peak rank 9 ancient god. These blazing gold race brothers were both rank 9 ancient gods, and they were extremely strong, close to peak rank 9. The two of them slowly fought on the battlefield, gradually getting closer to Zhao Feng. Once they were a certain distance away, the two of them activated their powerful bloodlines and threw all caution to the wind as they charged at Zhao Feng. This pair of blazing gold race brothers wielded their large sabers and unleashed 2 fiery blades of energy. A rank 8 ancient god had no time to dodge and was incinerated by the shockwaves of the flaming blades. It seemed like the combined attack of two powerful rank 9 ancient gods was about to engulf Zhao Feng. At this moment, in the distant horizon, a faint green beam of light suffused with the pressure of the spiritual race shot down and collided with the two flaming blades. Boom! Bang! The flaming blades were destroyed, and the blazing gold race brothers were forced back by this powerful energy, suffering significant injuries. Damn! A half-step god lord of the spiritual race. The two blazing gold race brothers looked up into the sky. That attack just now had been unleashed by ancient god Origin Jade. Heavens! Ancient god Origin Jade and ancient god Ice Flame are fighting, but she's still paying attention to Zhao Feng and helping him resolve his crisis? A peak rank 8 ancient god closer to Zhao Feng called out in alarm. Although the current prodigy of the spiritual race was Zhao Yufei, the goddess in the hearts of the older generation was still ancient god Origin Jade. Ancient god Origin Jade normally wouldn't even look at them. But on the battlefield, ancient god Origin Jade was still paying attention to Zhao Feng, helping him resolve his crisis. This sight instantly left many of the nearby spiritual race ancient gods shocked and envious. What's so strange about this? This isn't the first time. A distant rank 9 ancient god muttered. He was one of the young prodigies of the spiritual race, one of ancient god Origin Jade's pursuers. Die! Zhao Feng gripped the Chaos Origin Divine Sword and charged at the blazing gold race brothers. The two of them had been injured by the shockwaves from the attacks of a half-step god lord, and their fighting power had been reduced. Zhao Feng was far faster than the two of them, and after chasing them for a while, he managed to kill them both. The war continued for the 8th year. 50 to 60 battles had taken place in this period, with the spiritual race overwhelmingly winning over the blazing gold race. The spiritual race gradually regained its territory and began to invade the blazing gold race's territory. Quite a few people became famous in this war in the spiritual race and the Xiling Zone, but the most famous was naturally Zhao Feng. In each battle, Zhao Feng's contribution points far surpassed that of a rank 9 ancient god, leaving him far ahead of everyone else. But most of the discussion about Zhao Feng was not about his achievements. Do you think there's something going on between ancient god Origin Jade and Zhao Feng? Could ancient god Origin Jade have taken a liking to Zhao Feng? But didn't Zhao Feng and Zhao Yufei admire each other? I truly didn't think that two female prodigies of different generations of the spiritual race would fall in love with the same person. Within the spiritual race's base, rumors about Zhao Feng and ancient god Origin Jade appeared every day, and the more they spread, the more ridiculous they became. Zhao Feng was powerless to do anything about this, so he didn't care too much. In the last 8 years, he had used all his contribution points to buy cultivation resources. Of course, this was just a cover-up. The resources that Zhao Feng possessed were many times more precious than what he had exchanged for. Within the space-time robe, several ancient resources floated in front of Zhao Feng. He circulated the Chaos Heaven Void origin technique and methodically absorbed the energy essence of these resources. Buzz. Bzz. A chaotic and distorted energy appeared around Zhao Feng's body, affecting space-time. At a certain moment, Zhao Feng's body became illusory, and powerful spatial ripples began to affect the surrounding space. The distorted energy floating in the air was wrapped up in a powerful void energy and absorbed into Zhao Feng's body. Peak Level 8 Space Intent. Zhao Feng's eyes opened, and they flashed with powerful space energy. Peak Level 8 Space Intent signified that the Chaos Heaven Void origin technique had reached the peak of the 4th level. This breakthrough in his art allowed Zhao Feng's cultivation to naturally reach the peak of rank 9. It seems like I'll have to continue sealing my cultivation. Zhao Feng helplessly smiled. He had originally been preparing to undo the seal and reveal his true cultivation. But to his surprise, after a long period of tempering and accumulation, his cultivation naturally broke through to peak rank 9. 3 months later, the two races once more went to war. This time, Zhao Feng fought with the cultivation of a rank 9 ancient god, shocking both races. In less than 20 years, he had gone from rank 7 to rank 9. Not even the experts with the spiritual race bloodline could compare to this sort of rapid advancement speed. No, perhaps after obtaining the legacy of the martial god race, Zhao Yufei might be able to compare. This boy can't be allowed to live. On the blazing gold race's side, Elder Jin's eyes were extremely gloomy. At this moment, the two races already had two half-step god lords on the battlefield. But that ancient god origin Jade has been taking care of Zhao Feng this entire time. Eliminating him will be rather difficult. Ancient god Ice Flame slightly shook her head. This time, the battle didn't last long before the blazing gold race retreated, allowing the spiritual race to win once more. In the following 2 years of fighting, the blazing gold race adopted defensive measures. But the spiritual race did not lower their guard. Everyone could sense that the war was about to enter its final phase. Within the space-time robe, having just broken into peak rank 9, Zhao Feng needed to spend a great deal of time solidifying his strength. At the same time, he split off a part of his mind to cultivate other aspects. BZZ. Chaos Origin Divine Power surged as a dark silver sword condensed in Zhao Feng's hand. Hiss! Gradually, lightning began to appear on the sword. This was no ordinary lightning, but the tribulation lightning stored in Zhao Feng's lightning soul body. When he first returned, Zhao Feng had attempted to fuse the miniature Chaos Origin Divine Sword with the Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame. But this was far too difficult. If an accident occurred while fusing two powerful eye bloodline techniques, there would even be a backlash. For this reason, Zhao Feng gave up on fusing eye bloodline techniques and took a step back to fuse the Chaos Origin Divine Sword with Tribulation Lightning energy. More and more lightning appeared on the Chaos Origin Divine Sword, and its light grew brighter and brighter. Beads of sweat appeared on Zhao Feng's forehead as he stared at the Chaos Origin Divine Sword in his hand. At a certain moment, the entire Chaos Origin Divine Sword was covered in tribulation lightning, following a strange law. At a glance, it looked like a primal chaos lightning sword that shook one's soul. Swoosh, swoosh. Zhao Feng slightly activated it, and the Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword in his hand began to glow with lightning and exude a powerful energy that caused even the surrounding space to tremble and twist. It's done. I wonder how powerful this Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword is? Zhao Feng was pleasantly surprised and expectant. Chapter 14-15. Another year passed in the war between the two races. At this time, the half-step god lords of both races had appeared, but both sides only had 3 half-step god lords. Even if there was a slight difference in strength, it was not enough to affect the outcome. Only a few figures were present in the spiritual race's secret conference hall. These people were all extremely senior members of the spiritual race and were absolutely loyal to the spiritual race. From this, one could see the importance of this conference. 3 dazzling balls of divine light floated in front of them. We're currently negotiating with the half-step god lords of the divine tree forest. Once we succeed, we will have a powerful medicine Dao half-step god lord. When the time comes, the overall strength of our race will experience a qualitative leap. The spiritual race's third elder announced the good news. I heard that the blazing gold race is negotiating with the heaven-shaking alliance. I wonder how it's going? A white-haired old woman of the spiritual race asked. The Divine Tree Forest and the Heaven-Shaking Alliance were the other 2 5-star factions of the Xiling Zone. You can be at ease on this point. The Heaven-Shaking Alliance and the Blazing Gold Race have yet to reach an agreement. Ancient God Origin Jade confidently said. Perhaps because of the life-sacred land suppression, these 2 5-star factions did not recklessly interfere in the war between the two races. But they also could not easily give up on negotiations. If the Divine Tree Forest dared to resist the pressure of the sacred land and help the spiritual race, there would be no suspense in this war. Rest and build up your strength for a month. After 1 month, we will attack again. This time, we must fight beautifully and let the Divine Tree Forest know that the spiritual race has an extremely high chance of victory. The third elder's eyes darkened as he barked. The many members of the spiritual race's upper echelon all nodded. 1 month later, the third elder suddenly announced that he would mobilize his army. The experts of the various races and sects instantly assembled and rode off into the distance on savage warships. Once they reached the Blazing Gold Race's camp, kill! At the third elder's command, the vast crowd immediately rushed out. At the same time, the three half-step god lords flew into the vaster skies and advanced. Boom! A scorching and icy energy soared into the sky from the palace below. The three half-step god lords of the Blazing Gold Race charged out. The Blazing Gold Race has lost. The third elder stared at the three half-step god lords. In the recent campaign, the Blazing Gold Race had always been on the defensive. And just now, with a sweep of his divine sense, he could tell that the Blazing Gold Race, excluding the half-step god lords, was much weaker than the spiritual race. We still don't know who will win. A strange light flashed across Elder Jin's eyes. A moment later, the six half-step god lords of the two races clashed. Rumble! The ripples of divine power caused all the members below the half-step god lord level to tremble in fear. Entering the battlefield, Zhao Feng only had one goal: to temper himself while suppressing his cultivation and various means. It was a common training method. Many forces had special training rooms, for example, to control gravity, speed, power Upanishads, and so on. Zhao Feng's body flickered to the side, and as soon as he reappeared, he killed a peak 8th order expert with lightning-like speed. When that peak type 8 expert died, he did not even know how he died. Right, let's try the mixed origin tribulation lightning sword. With a thought, the Chaos Origin Divine Sword in Zhao Feng's left hand glowed with lightning. However, at this moment, he suddenly sensed a powerful aura rapidly approaching him. Peak rank 9. Zhao Feng raised his head and saw a scorching golden flame rumbling toward him. Seeking death. Zhao Feng's eyes chilled. In the eyes of outsiders, he had only just broken into rank 9, so he did not go out of his way to kill a peak rank 9. But now that a peak rank 9 was attacking him, he wouldn't be polite. But a moment later, Zhao Feng sighed. Boom! In the distant horizon, a crystalline green sword energy, suffused with the immense pressure of the spiritual race, rumbled toward him. Ancient God Origin Jade is helping Zhao Feng again. Many experts nearby were either surprised or regretful. Had the proud daughter of the previous generation really fallen in love with Zhao Feng? Sensing the attack of a half-step god lord, the peak rank 9 of the Blazing Gold Race immediately retreated. Something's wrong. Zhao Feng grimaced as he watched his opponent retreat. Ancient God Origin Jade was in the middle of an intense battle, and that was just a casual attack. A peak rank 9 was still capable of dealing with it. But his opponent had chosen to retreat. This made Zhao Feng feel that something was wrong. He suddenly raised his head, his left eye piercing through the obstacles to see the half-step God Lord battlefield. The ancient God Iceflame's eyes exploded with cold light. With a wave of her left hand, a thin elder wearing a dark green robe suddenly appeared. Swish! The moment the skinny old man appeared, he slapped out a huge palm that was covered in green mist. Half-step God Lord, Ancient God Dark Crow. Ancient God Origin Jade grimaced and hurriedly circulated her divine power, forming a crystalline membrane on her skin. Boom! Bang! Ancient God Dark Crow's palm of green mist slammed into Ancient God Origin Jade's body. Poison! Ancient God Origin Jade grimaced. Ancient God Dark Crow's poison was extremely unique. It could penetrate her defenses and invade the body of a spiritual race member. It was obvious that this was a poison specially created to deal with the spiritual race. At the same time, Ancient God Iceflame's palm of extreme cold descended. Bang! The barrier around Ancient God Origin Jade's body froze and cracked. The cold and poison worked together to madly invade Ancient God Origin Jade's body. Ancient God Origin Jade. It's actually Ancient God Dark Crow. This is troublesome. The other two half-step god lords of the spiritual race had extremely grim expressions. Ancient God Dark Crow had some fame in the ancient desolate realm of gods. He was a genius blessed by the heavens and was particularly interested in poisons. It was rumored that 5 half-step god lords had died to Ancient God Dark Crow's poison, and one of them had been killed by Ancient God Dark Crow alone. He, on the surface, we're negotiating with the Heaven-Shaking Alliance, but in secret, we've been trying to rope in ancient god Dark Crow. Elder Jean heartily laughed. In this battle, I'll make your spiritual race bleed. The short middle-aged man of the blazing gold race wickedly chuckled. He was the one who had thought of this plan. They originally wanted to deal with Zhao Feng, but ancient god Origin Jade had been taking care of Zhao Feng this entire time, making it difficult for them to do anything. But now that they thought about it, perhaps they could use Zhao Feng to deal with ancient god Origin Jade. But as a half-step god lord, even if he could find an opening in his opponent, he would find it very difficult to heavily injure or kill him. Thus, the blazing gold race had ancient god Dark Crow hide in ancient god Ice Flame's body. Just now, when ancient god Origin Jade split her attention to help Zhao Feng, ancient god Dark Crow suddenly appeared and joined forces with ancient god Ice Flame to heavily wound ancient god Origin Jade. Moreover, ancient god Dark Crow's poison had already permeated ancient god Origin Jade's body. In this battle, they could even kill the spiritual race's ancient god Origin Jade. Ancient god Origin Jade. The spiritual race's third elder sensed the gravity of the situation and wanted to reinforce ancient god Origin Jade. But the blazing gold race's elder Jean would never give him this chance. Despicable, despicable and shameless. Ancient god Origin Jade wiped the blood from her lips and coldly stared at ancient god Ice Flame and ancient god Dark Crow. Her figure flashed and she fled into the distance. She was heavily injured and poisoned, so she naturally couldn't fight against two half-step god lords. Once she died, the outcome of this battle would be decided. Thus, she had sent a message to the god lords of her race. If she could last until a god lord arrived, the spiritual race still had hope. Ancient god Origin Jade, it's time for the battle between you and me to end. Ancient god Ice Flame sneered as she blinked away. Tiske, killing such a beauty is truly a pity. Ancient god Dark Crow's eyes flashed with dark green light as he regretfully said, "Ush, ush, ush." The three half-step god lords left the vast and dreadful battlefield and headed into the distance. Ancient god Origin Jade. How could this be? Ancient god Origin Jade was ambushed and heavily injured by two half-step god lords. Down below, the morale of the spiritual race instantly plummeted. Many of ancient god Origin Jade's admirers became worried and wanted nothing more than to follow. But a battle between half-step god lords was not something they could interfere in. Moreover, the spiritual race was in a weakened state, so they could not easily leave. Damn, it's all because of this brat. Ancient god Origin Jade put herself in danger to save him. You've harmed the entire spiritual race. Quite a few people reproachfully looked at Zhao Feng. Defend. Retreat. The spiritual race's third elder bellowed. In the current situation, if they continued to fight, the spiritual race would suffer massive losses. If they retreated to their own territory, they might be able to use the terrain to salvage the situation. To think that it would turn out like this. Zhao Feng sighed. Although ancient god Origin Jade had volunteered to help him, in the end, ancient god Origin Jade had always been taking care of Zhao Feng. And this time, ancient god Origin Jade was in danger because of Zhao Feng, and there was even a chance that she might die. Swish. Zhao Feng's body flashed as he shot off in the direction the three half-step god lords had fled. This kid has at least a little conscience. He knows that he harmed ancient god Origin Jade, so he ran over to save her. The short middle-aged man of the blazing gold race gave an even more sinister smile. Ancient god Ice Flame and ancient god Dark Crow working together would have no problem killing ancient god Origin Jade. But now, Zhao Feng had run over to throw his life away. The blazing gold race had profited greatly this time. Zhao Feng. The third elder called out, his expression tense. But Zhao Feng seemed not to hear, and he continued to get farther and farther away. This made the third elder's expression darken and furious, but there was nothing he could do about it. Extreme Frost Flame. Ancient god Ice Flame waved a hand, unleashing a massive ball of gray-white flames. Kiki, stop struggling. Ancient god Dark Crow gave a sinister smile, his thin and savage claws exuding a layer of black light. Swish, swish. As Ancient God Origin Jade fled, she defended and dodged. But she was already injured, and now that she was plagued by poison, she was in a rather mediocre state. Bang! A portion of the power of the two attacks struck Ancient God Origin Jade's body and pushed her back several li. Ancient God Origin Jade, give up resisting. I'll let you die a quick death. Ancient God Ice Flame coldly shouted. The two half-step God Lords rapidly approached Ancient God Origin Jade. Damn! Ancient God Origin Jade's face was rather pale, and her crystalline body was extremely dim. There were many wounds on it, and it was like a perfect treasure had been cracked. It was a truly distressing sight. Kiki, I'll let you be the test subject for my poison. Ancient God Dark Crow wickedly chuckled as he flew toward Ancient God Origin Jade. But at this moment, a spatial ripple appeared behind him. In a flash, Zhao Feng blinked to Ancient God Origin Jade's side. Kiki, are you her old lover? Ancient God Dark Crow asked with an interested smile. He was rather shocked that a rank 9 Ancient God dared to run over in this situation. Truly an idiot. Ancient God Ice Flame sneered. They wanted to kill Zhao Feng earlier, but no matter what they did, they couldn't kill him. But now, after using Zhao Feng to heavily wound Ancient God Origin Jade, Zhao Feng came running over to his death. This was killing two birds with one stone. What are you doing here? Ancient God Origin Jade was taken aback, and then she called out. Although she longed for someone to save her, what use could a mere rank 9 Ancient God like Zhao Feng be? He would just be sending himself to his death. I will save you, Zhao Feng calmly said, his expression unperturbed by the two half-step God Lords. At the same time, a profound and powerful energy began to exude from his body. Chapter 14:16. I will save you, Zhao Feng calmly said, his expression unperturbed by the two half-step God Lords. At the same time, a deep and powerful energy began to exude from his body. At this moment, Zhao Feng stared straight at the two half-step God Lords, his face indifferent and fearless, his body seeming even more imposing. Peak rank 9? Ancient God Origin Jade was confused at first, but then she was alarmed. She sensed that Zhao Feng's cultivation had actually reached peak rank 9. Oh, so this kid was hiding his cultivation. Ancient God Dark Crow's eyes flashed. Of course, this was not what he was surprised about. After all, peak rank 9 was nothing in his eyes. He was surprised that not even half-step God Lords like them had been able to see through Zhao Feng's ability to hide his cultivation. This kid can't be left alive. Ancient God Ice Flame's eyes chilled. At this moment, she looked at Zhao Feng with a tinge of fear in her heart, and she wanted to immediately make this person disappear. You've been deceiving me this entire time. Ancient God Origin Jade was rather angry. The person she had been taking care of all this time actually had a peak rank 9 cultivation. With Zhao Feng's peak rank 9 cultivation, he wouldn't be in any danger on the battlefield against anyone below the half-step God Lord level, and he wouldn't need her help. But she didn't know any of this. She had been helping Zhao Feng for 10-some years. Although she was furious, at this moment, Zhao Feng had braved the danger of two half-step God Lords to save her. This made Ancient God Origin Jade's heart flutter, and she felt a surge of warmth. Suddenly she sensed Ancient God Ice Flame's icy killing intent and immediately said, even if you're a peak rank 9, you can't save me. Hurry and run. You want to leave now? Too late. Gray-white flames surged out of Ancient God Ice Flame's icy body, covering the surrounding area in a layer of frost. At this moment, she was willing to put aside Ancient God Origin Jade in order to kill Zhao Feng first. Kiki, conceited brat, obediently accept your death. Ancient God Dark Crow waved his hand, sending out a dark green mist that took the shape of a skull toward Zhao Feng. On the other side, Ancient God Ice Flame unleashed a fist of ice flame, the icy flames on this fist seeming capable of freezing and shattering all. Hurry up and go, Ancient God Origin Jade immediately said. If it was just a half-step God Lord, Zhao Feng might have been able to save her. But against two half-step God Lords, Zhao Feng's peak rank 9 cultivation was powerless to reverse the situation. Moreover, ancient god Dark Crow possessed extraordinary strength and was skilled in poison. If he worked with ancient god Ice Flame, he would be even stronger. The attacks of the two half-step god lords were about to engulf ancient god Origin Jade and Zhao Feng. Suddenly, Zhao Feng embraced ancient god Origin Jade, his powerful arms pressing against her soft and slender waist. "What are you doing?" Ancient god Origin Jade blushed as she called out. However, she was already injured and poisoned. Naturally, she couldn't break free from Zhao Feng's strong arms. Chaos Heaven Void Ring. Chaos Origin Divine Power rippled around Zhao Feng's body, slowly forming a dark silver halo that protected him and ancient god Origin Jade. Boom! Swish! The skull-shaped venomous creature collided with Qin went in, and a boundless venom spread out in all directions. In a flash, all life in the area was extinguished, and even the rocks began to rot. But within the Chaos Heaven Void Ring, Zhao Feng and ancient god Origin Jade were safe and sound. Moreover, the Chaos Heaven Void Ring was rapidly absorbing the poison energy to strengthen itself. In the next instant, the ice flame fist descended upon him. Boom! An extremely cold flame exploded on the Chaos Heaven Void Ring, and countless icy flames began to invade it. In contrast to ancient god Dark Crow, ancient god Ice Flame's attacks were far more explosive and instantly lethal. If not for the fact that the Chaos Heaven Void Ring had absorbed ancient god Dark Crow's energy, it would have found it very difficult to block ancient god Ice Flame's attack. He blocked it? How could this be? Ancient god Ice Flame and ancient god Dark Crow were both flabbergasted. For a peak rank 9 to be able to block the attacks of two half-step god lords was simply too shocking. Within the Chaos Heaven Void Ring, ancient god Origin Jade also watched in shock. At this moment, she was sticking close to Zhao Feng. After all, the attacks of the two half-step god lords had just arrived, and in the face of death, ancient god Origin Jade had subconsciously stuck close to Zhao Feng. When she realized this, the blush on her icy face deepened, and she hurriedly put some distance between them. "We can't be careless. Just kill him." Ancient god Ice Flame's face was as cold as ice. Their casual attacks just now were believed to be enough to kill Zhao Feng, but they ended up with a huge surprise. Not good. They're getting serious this time. Ancient god Origin Jade was rather worried, but when she looked at Zhao Feng, she realized that Zhao Feng's expression had not changed in the slightest. It was like these two half-step god lords were nothing in his eyes. Two half-step god lords aren't easy to deal with. Zhao Feng's mind rapidly turned as he tried to think of a countermeasure. He had killed a half-step god lord of ancient Soul Hall when he was only rank 9. But at that time, his opponents were already injured, and the light race Divine Kingdom was also suppressing them. Ancient god Jalesia's group didn't even have 60% of their peak strength. But now, Zhao Feng was not just facing half-step god lords at their peak, but two of them. More importantly, ancient god Origin Jade was poisoned and needed to be treated as quickly as possible. "I'll have you fight." Zhao Feng faintly smiled. Spatial energy rippled around his body, and a dark silver robe appeared, glimmering with a dazzling silver radiance. At the same time, two figures charged out of the space-time robe. Boom! A heaven-shaking calamitous energy immediately began to spread. The enemies approaching Zhao Feng and ancient god Origin Jade were instantly stunned, their bloodlines trembling as they stopped in the air. What sort of bloodline is this? Ancient god Ice Flame's body trembled. A wicked and black-scaled man emerged from the crimson draconic flames. On the other side, a handsome and mysterious youth appeared in an illusory dimension. This was none other than the clone that Zhao Feng had formed not long ago, Zhao Kong. Destruction Dragon Race, Eye of Space-Time. Ancient god Dark Crow's expression darkened. Fortunately, the black-scaled man and the mysterious youth weren't even at peak rank 9. He still has helpers? Ancient god Origin Jade rejoiced. The two helpers Zhao Feng had just called out didn't have very high cultivations, but they had extraordinary backgrounds, making their side even stronger. I'll let you experience the fury of the Destruction Dragon race. The Black Destruction Dragons savagely laughed in excitement. The blood of the Destruction Dragon race flowed through its veins, and the Black Destruction Dragon was a warlike individual. The Black Destruction Dragon had been bored out of its mind from staying in the space-time robe for so long. Now that it had a chance to fight, it ignored everything else and madly charged at Ancient God Ice Flame. Swish! In a flash of black flame, the Black Destruction Dragon shot toward Ancient God Ice Flame. Meanwhile, Zhao Kong and the Black Destruction Dragon charged at Ancient God Ice Flame. "Let's deal with this person," Zhao Feng called out. Ancient God Origin Jade understood his meaning, and a green crystal sword appeared in her hand. She slashed out with a sharp and powerful edge at Ancient God Dark Crow. Chaos Origin Divine Sword. Chaos Origin Divine Power rippled in Zhao Feng's hand, instantly forming a broad silver sword. Swoosh swoosh. Two powerful sword slashes shot toward Ancient God Dark Crow with lightning-fast speed. With a wave of his robe, Ancient God Dark Crow unleashed a pitch-black poisonous mist. The moment Zhao Feng and Ancient God Origin Jade's attacks entered the poisonous mist, they immediately began to weaken. The Ancient God Origin Jade's green crystal sword slash became extremely dim, and when it struck Ancient God Dark Crow, it was easily shattered. "Kiki, my black decay poison can corrode divine power." Ancient God Dark Crow wickedly chuckled. At this moment, Zhao Feng's Chaos Origin Divine Sword slash arrived, but its power had not been weakened at all. Boom! Bang! In his carelessness, the Chaos Origin Divine Sword slash struck Ancient God Dark Crow's body, leaving behind a ghastly wound from which blood slowly flowed. Damn! This kid's divine power has a devouring attribute. It's counteracting the black decay poison. Ancient God Dark Crow's expression darkened. He suddenly realized that he was being countered by Zhao Feng. He was skilled in using poison, and the majority of his attacks were long-lasting attacks. Meanwhile, Zhao Feng's Chaos Origin Divine Power could continuously absorb energy from his surroundings. In comparison, Ancient God Ice Flame's explosive power was more effective against Zhao Feng. Ancient God Dark Crow sent out his divine sense in shock. Although the Black Destruction Dragon and Zhao Kong weren't even peak rank 9, when the two of them worked together, they had the upper hand. The Black Destruction Dragon had the bloodline of the Destruction Dragon race and had a suppressive effect on Ancient God Ice Flame's bloodline. This, coupled with its powerful fighting power and Destruction Dragon body, made it extremely savage and vicious. Zhao Kong's Eye of Spacetime was close to the Quasi-God Eye level and was extremely powerful. It was responsible for restraining and hindering Ancient God Ice Flame. Oh no! Ancient God Dark Crow suddenly sensed danger. Swish! Zhao Feng suddenly appeared behind him and slashed with his Chaos Origin Divine Sword. Before the sword even arrived, a powerful space-time energy descended on Ancient God Dark Crow's body, slowing his reaction time and making it impossible for him to dodge. Damn! Ancient God Dark Crow clenched his teeth and took out a dazzling pearl. Boom! Bang! The dark green pearl exploded, unleashing a 5-colored mist that engulfed Ancient God Dark Crow and Zhao Feng. Chaos Heaven Void Ring. Zhao Feng used a defensive skill to block this explosive poison. At the same time, he slashed at Ancient God Dark Crow. The 5-colored mist gathered around Ancient God Dark Crow, forming a poisonous barrier. Boom! Bang! Ancient God Dark Crow was pushed back several li by Zhao Feng's attack, but because of his defensive measures, he was not badly injured. Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame. Zhao Feng's left eye began to turn, condensing a twisted Tribulation Lightning Flame. Kakrek! Ancient God Dark Crow's body had just stopped when a Tribulation Lightning Flame exploded on his soul. Ah! Ancient God Dark Crow clutched his head and howled. Let's go! Zhao Feng once more embraced Ancient God Origin Jade and called back the Black Destruction Dragon and Zhao Kong before swiftly departing. Don't even think about it. Ancient God Ice Flame's eyes flashed with cold light. Originally, Ancient God Origin Jade's death was assured, but Zhao Feng's appearance had ruined their meticulous plans and changed everything. Space-time barrier. Zhao Feng activated the space-time robe, unleashing layers of indistinct energy that blocked Ancient God Ice Flame's path. Unless one could pass through the space-time barrier, Ancient God Ice Flame could not use instant movement or other techniques. But when Ancient God Ice Flame charged into the space-time barrier, A powerful space-time intent restrained her. On the other side, ancient god Dark Crow was covered in wounds and in a sorry state. Damn. When ancient god Ice Flame charged out and saw that Zhao Feng was nowhere to be seen, she couldn't help but clench her teeth. Space-time robe, space-time intent. This kid is too fast. We can't catch up. For a moment, the two of them were frozen on the spot, their faces gloomy and unsightly. A trifling rank 9 rookie had managed to rescue ancient god Origin Jade from right under the eyes of two half-step god lords. The two of them had no face left. Chapter 14:17. A layer of spatial ripples appeared in the sky. Swish. Zhao Feng brought ancient god Origin Jade out of the void. We're safe now. Zhao Feng stopped and moved his arm away from ancient god Origin Jade's soft waist. Many thanks. Although ancient god Origin Jade was extremely weak, her face was still suffused with an alluring blush. Let me first help you suppress the poison in your body, Zhao Feng said. If not for the fact that ancient god Origin Jade was poisoned and could not fight for long periods of time, Zhao Feng would not have been in such a rush to escape. It wasn't too difficult for him to kill a half-step god lord. Although two half-step god lords were rather troublesome to deal with, if he used all his trump cards, he was very confident that he could kill them. But at this moment, the clouds in the distant horizon shifted. Boom! A heaven-shaking pressure suddenly descended. A white gust of wind suddenly blew through the world, completely suppressing all other energies. Suddenly, an elder wearing a platinum robe, his entire body shrouded in crystalline white light, appeared in the wind. At this moment, this elder seemed to be the representative of the world, his every movement exuding the pressure of the entire world. God Lord! Zhao Feng stared in shock at the elder. Second elder! Ancient god Origin Jade had a respectful expression. Why are the two of you here? The second elder stared at ancient god Origin Jade and Zhao Feng. Reporting to elder, I was schemed against by the blazing gold race and was in danger, but Zhao Feng came alone to save me. The two of us worked together to escape the danger. Ancient god Origin Jade succinctly said. Oh! The second elder's gaze immediately fell on Zhao Feng. He spent most of his time in seclusion, so he didn't know much about Zhao Feng's affairs. He had only heard a few rumors. The space-time robe on Zhao Feng's body had attracted his attention, and he was also rather shocked by Zhao Feng's age and cultivation. In the end, his gaze fell on Zhao Feng's left eye, and a hint of confusion appeared in his eyes. Not bad. You've far surpassed my expectations. In the end, the second elder only said this sentence. But to be personally praised by a god lord was still an honor for anyone below half-step god lord. Thank you for your praise, elder. Zhao Feng said politely. Although you are out of danger, since I'm here, I won't go back so easily. The second elder looked into the distance. Yes. Ancient god Origin Jade immediately nodded. She was incomparably shocked. Was the second elder going to interfere in the war? Go! The second elder waved his sleeve, and an invisible energy pulled Zhao Feng and ancient god Origin Jade to his side. Poison! The second elder once more turned to ancient god Origin Jade. At the same time, a mysterious and unfathomable law energy engulfed ancient god Origin Jade. At this moment, ancient god Origin Jade felt like she had become immortal, unable to circulate any energy. Zhao Feng's left eye turned to ancient god Origin Jade. Although ancient god Origin Jade was being suppressed by the laws, the poison in her body was being suppressed even more. The poison around ancient god Origin Jade's body was completely vanquished by the law energy of a half-step god lord. A moment later, all the suppression on ancient god Origin Jade's body vanished, and she discovered that the poison in her body had also been expelled. Many thanks, elder. Ancient god Origin Jade gratefully said. The second elder said nothing as he took ancient god Origin Jade and Zhao Feng with him and used spatial shift. The battlefield between the two races was in complete chaos, with no daylight visible. Suddenly, two figures with powerful auras flew toward the battlefield. Ancient god Ice Flame, ancient god Dark Crow. The spiritual race's third elder half closed his eyes at these two figures, a hint of helplessness on his face. Could it be that ancient god Origin Jade and that kid have already? Next to him, a white-haired old woman had an unbearable expression. The vast majority of the spiritual race members on the battlefield had dejected and despairing looks on their faces. "Heh, you finally returned." Elder Jean sneered, but he did not ask any questions. In his view, with Ancient God Iceflame and Ancient God Dark Crow working together, Ancient God Origin Jade and Zhao Feng were doomed. Ancient God Iceflame looked at Elder Jean, finding it rather difficult to speak. Even if she told Elder Jean, he probably wouldn't believe that a rank 9 rookie like Zhao Feng could rescue Ancient God Origin Jade from the hands of two half-step godlords. But this was already a fact, and they needed to report it to their superiors. But at this moment, retreat! Elder Jean bellowed, interrupting Ancient God Iceflame. Although the Blazing Gold Race members didn't know the reason, they had absolute obedience to their commander's orders. In a flash, the entire Blazing Gold Race turned and retreated. What's going on? The Blazing Gold Race is retreating. The spiritual race's third elder was frozen to the spot. Down below, all the members of the spiritual race were waiting for their elder's order. Although the Blazing Gold Race had retreated, the enemy was far stronger than the spiritual race. Pursuing them would just be asking for trouble. But a moment later, the spiritual race's third elder and the white-haired old woman grimaced. Broom. A white wind suddenly blew through the world, causing everything else to lose their luster. Suddenly, three figures appeared in the sky above the spiritual race. Paying respects to second elder, the third elder and the white-haired old woman respectfully called out. At the same time, all the living beings in the world prostrated themselves before the second elder. Ancient God Origin Jade and Zhao Feng are both fine? The spiritual race experts breathed a sigh of relief. In their view, a god lord must have arrived in time to save the two of them. Zhao Feng, in the future, don't do anything stupid. The third elder harshly rebuked. Zhao Feng did not bother to explain. Want to run? The second elder snorted, and then his body vanished. A moment later, he was upon the Blazing Gold Race army. Retreat! Don't worry about anything. Elder Jean bellowed. The longer one stayed against a god lord, the more damage one would suffer. In addition, the spiritual race had attacked first, so this place was very close to the Blazing Gold Race's base. As long as they returned to the base, they could use the array to temporarily hold off the attacks of the spiritual race godlords. Broom. The energy of the world surged and gathered on the second elder's body. Now that this old man has come, how could I possibly return without accomplishing anything? The second elder waved his hand, condensing a ball of crystal. This ball of crystal seemed to be liquid, constantly twisting and changing shape. This ball of divine power transformed into a crystalline gale that rumbled toward the Blazing Gold Race army. His target is me. No. The short middle-aged man sensed the massive ripples of energy behind him, and he grimaced as he screamed. A god lord naturally would not kill the unimportant true gods, but the highest-level half-step god lords in the Blazing Gold Race army. The middle-aged man immediately activated his Blazing Gold Race bloodline, unleashing a scorching golden flame. Boom! Bang! The clash of the two caused the world to shake. Many true gods and ancient gods in the vicinity were killed by the shockwaves of the battle. If I want you dead, you'll die. The second elder coldly snorted as he waved his hand again. No! The middle-aged man screamed with all his might. He had already used everything he had to block the first attack of a god lord. Bang! A crystalline gale blew past, and the middle-aged man's body vanished. Run! The power of a god lord is too terrifying. The entire Blazing Gold Race army fled in panic. The Blazing Gold Race army quickly returned to the base and activated the arrays. The second elder immediately retreated. The moment he appeared, the Blazing Gold Race had definitely notified their god lords. Moreover, the enemy still had 3 half-step god lords, and with the arrays of the base, even if they tried to force their way in, the result would not be good. The spiritual race army retreated to the base to rest. The spiritual race had suffered grievous losses in this battle. If not for the fact that the second elder had taken action and killed a half-step god lord and many true gods of the blazing gold race, the spiritual race would have suffered massive losses. Not long after the spiritual race retreated, they received news that the blazing gold race godlords had arrived. But with the second elder standing guard, they had nothing to fear. 3 days later, bad news arrived. Damn! The blazing gold race actually sent another godlord to destroy several of our smaller bases. The third elder bellowed in rage. Not only that godlord of the blazing gold race had laid an ambush on the way back to the spiritual race, killing a small team of spiritual race soldiers, including a half-step godlord. Prepare for an all-out war. The second elder said, his eyes half closed. The third elder's expression changed as he nodded. On the same day, the third elder issued an order to gather all the forces of the spiritual race. In the distance, the blazing gold race army was also gradually strengthening. On the third day, 2 more godlords arrived. They were the spiritual race's grand elder and patriarch. The spiritual race's grand elder was slightly plump and rather amiable. Although he was a god lord, he gave off an amiable aura. As for the spiritual race patriarch, he was shrouded in a faint blue mist, making it impossible to see his true appearance. Bzz. Zhao Feng couldn't help but use his left eye to peer through the mist. He saw that the spiritual race patriarch was tall and imposing, his expression calm. His entire body was made of translucent blue crystals, and his translucent blue hair flowed like water. I heard that the spiritual race patriarch has reached the second heaven. Zhao Feng muttered. There were 3 heavens of God Lord, and each heaven seemed to be separated by an entire heaven. Brum. At this moment, the distant horizon turned golden red as if it had been set ablaze by boundless flames. 10 enormous warships of golden flame began to rapidly approach. 3 dazzling balls of golden light floated at the top of the warship in the middle. The figure in the center was 30 feet tall, and his body of golden glass was covered in strange and complicated flame patterns. To his left was a hunchbacked elder, while to his right was a beautiful old lady who still retained her charm. Today we'll settle everything. A ball of flame immediately ignited on the blazing gold race patriarch's body of golden glass. In a flash, the entire world was suffused with boundless flames. These flames were not targeted at the blazing gold race members. On the contrary, they boosted their fighting spirit and strength. We should have settled this long ago. The spiritual race patriarch flatly said. Zhao Feng, this is the final battle. Ancient God Origin Jade's injuries have not completely healed, so stop hiding your strength. The second elder suddenly messaged Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng's expression froze. It appeared that Ancient God Origin Jade had probably told the second elder everything. Ancient God Origin Jade was still heavily injured, and the blazing gold race had 1 more half-step god lord than the spiritual race. Only Zhao Feng could fill this gap. I will. Zhao Feng nodded. If the spiritual race obtained a complete victory, Zhao Feng would have 1 less major problem to worry about. Thus, in this crucial final battle, Zhao Feng would use his full strength. Chapter 14:18. A powerful energy instantly filled every corner of his body, destroying and devouring everything. The array was still in the process of being laid down, so he could not allow Zhao Feng to destroy it. Zhao Feng was alarmed. A moment later, he charged into the blazing gold race army. He immediately activated his powerful physical body, and his body began to glow with golden light as he exuded a powerful physical pressure. This is the power of a second heaven god lord. Zhao Feng's body rapidly flickered through the army. What a powerful bloodline energy! The eye of space-time, the eye of death, and this dreadful ancient bloodline. Could it be the destruction dragon race? The demon-slaughtering celestial fire array is complete. The warships between the 2 races fired countless energy cannons and beams of divine power. I truly didn't think that he would grow to this level in such a short time. This person is the number 1 person on my race's bounty list. Blazing Sun Fist. Zhao Feng faintly smiled. The giant man softly called out. Some of the weaker cultivators didn't even know what was going on before they were slain by Zhao Feng. Master Li called out to the giant man. Swish. Fight. This kid's strength is on par with a half-step godlord at the very least, but there's still a way. Quite a few people saw that Zhao Feng had arrived and immediately began to flee. On the other side, the Blazing Gold Race members felt the divine power in their bodies being suppressed and unable to circulate as they wished. An elder dressed in hemp robes in the rear of the Blazing Gold Race army whispered. The nearby Blazing Gold Race members were all stunned. The moment the three of them appeared, their powerful auras swept out in all directions. Master Li called out in alarm. At this moment, if he listened to Master Li's orders, there was a high chance that he could kill Zhao Feng. Kaboom! Hear my order. Begin laying down the array. The giant man only wanted to stop Zhao Feng for a few moments so that he could finish laying down the array. Another person has appeared. You guys should come out and cause a ruckus as well. Zhao Feng's body flickered as he approached the giant man and Master Li. In a flash, the giant man's divine body and soul were heavily injured, and he vomited blood. Damn bitch, it's you again. Above the formation, there was a giant blade made of golden flames, emitting waves of divine flames. Before it even got close, Zhao Feng already felt a scorching heat. The Black Destruction Dragon immediately charged at Ancient God Ice Flame. With a wave of the Chaos Origin Divine Sword, a rank 7 Ancient God and several true gods were slain. In the back, Ancient God Blue Distance and his son, as well as Ancient God Floating Spirit and the other experts that recognized Zhao Feng, were all stunned by this sight. Zhao Feng, who was fighting on the battlefield, sensed that something was wrong. However, there were also some people who stared at Zhao Feng, as if they were waiting for an opportunity. The Blazing Gold Race Patriarch roared. Several figures emerged from the space-time robe. Not good. A half-step God Lord. Of course, this wasn't the time to watch the Divine Masters fight. Many of the nearby true gods and ancient gods gathered around the giant man and Master Li. In a flash, Zhao Feng had cut a massive hole in the giant man's defensive body. Zhao Feng looked at Ancient God Ice Flame and laughed. Zhao Feng's eyes dimmed. The power exuded by this array was enough to move even a half-step godlord. Zhao Feng showed no fear. Gripping the Chaos Origin Divine Sword, he charged forward and slashed at the blazing ball of flame. Although he found it hard to believe, Zhao Feng's strength was definitely not simple. But suddenly, a miniature longsword pierced through his body. In a flash, the burning sensation the spiritual race members felt lessened, and they sensed that the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi was abundant enough to rapidly replenish their divine power. A flame array controlled by 12 people began to move toward Zhao Feng. The massive warships of the two sides collided. The reward for killing Zhao Feng was something that even a half-step godlord would be tempted by. The world shuddered as the three godlords of the two races soared into the sky, flying to a distant battlefield. The giant man endured the pain as he approached the array. The giant man's forehead was drenched in cold sweat. A black-scaled man shrouded in pitch-black dragon flames exuded a dreadful aura of calamity. You don't need to go back. The giant man was a peak rank 9 of the Blazing Gold Race. Moreover, his bloodline was extremely thick and he was extremely talented. There was even a chance that he would become a godlord in the future. The patriarchs of both races were second heaven godlords. Countless figures flew out of the array and began to attack. Master Li, do you have a way? The Chaos Origin Divine Sword instantly cut into the giant ball of flame and pulverized it. As long as he could enter the array, he would have a chance to survive. The golden flames in the world began to seethe and explode. Besides strengthening the members of the Blazing Gold Race, they could also suppress their enemies, making them feel like they were in a blazing hell. In the center of the array was the peak rank 9 Master Li. Around the array were 4 rank 8 ancient gods and 7 rank 7 ancient gods. It really is Master Li. The giant man rapidly retreated, his target the giant flame blade. In their first clash, he was certain that he was no match for Zhao Feng. If he fought alone, he would probably lose his life. Ancient God Ice Flame's face was frigid, her eyes brimming with killing intent. How could this be? I heard that the array around that base was laid down by this masterly. Even the spiritual race's second elder didn't act recklessly when he arrived. Whoosh. BZZ. The spiritual race patriarch flatly said. Ancient god Origin Jade, who was clearly doomed, had been rescued by Zhao Feng. This had become a sore point for ancient god Ice Flame. If she did not kill Zhao Feng, she would find it very difficult to advance on her martial path. What's going on with these three? Are they all experts that Zhao Feng befriended in his travels? Master Li stroked his beard as he relayed his plan to the giant man. Master Li's name resounded through the blazing gold race. Zhao Feng's body flickered away. The giant man added, "Retreat. Get into the array core." An ancient god called out in alarm. The giant man swiftly retreated. Swish. Although the reward was tempting, Zhao Feng was too powerful and had a supreme quality defensive divine artifact like the space-time robe. Killing him would be extremely difficult. Wanna leave? When they thought back to how they had targeted Zhao Feng, they felt that their luck was simply too good that they hadn't been killed by Zhao Feng. Who are these three? The giant man was slightly angered, and his body immediately exploded with powerful bloodline energy. The giant man was about to enter the flame blade. Next to him, a tall and mighty giant asked directly. The path of martial arts was bound to be accompanied by slaughter. Slaughter allowed one to grow and get stronger. Plush. At this moment, he was like a god of slaughter, causing the members of the blazing gold race to madly flee. It was rumored that Zhao Feng had single-handedly rescued ancient god Origin Jade from ancient god Ice Flame and ancient god Dark Crow. At this moment, an enormous fiery pressure descended from the rear. Swish. In a flash, the world went dark as ripples of divine power that made one's heart tremble appeared. I didn't think that this boy would have so many helpers. Heh, it's about time for you all to show off. This array truly is rather unusual. Kill. The golden flesh and bone inside was a ghastly sight, and golden red blood sprayed through the air. The ancient god Blue Distance was both fearful and helpless. His left eye pulsed with eye intent, and Chaos Origin Divine Power instantly formed a miniature Chaos Origin Divine Sword. You want to use an array against me? Within the warship, there were people responsible for activating the defensive systems and activating the warship's offensive systems. But suddenly, a dark silver longsword pierced through his chest. Oh no! Ancient god Floating Spirit sighed. Although he had long ago predicted that Zhao Feng would become extraordinary in the future, he hadn't expected to witness it so soon. The nearby blazing gold race members were all taken aback. A moment later, a calm and serene ripple of water spread out from his body and into the world. The giant man grimaced as he sensed a powerful danger. Okay. He's wearing a supreme quality divine artifact, the space-time robe. The linen-robed Master Li waved his hands. In the sky, countless figures were clashing with one another. The blazing gold race members followed Master Li's orders and swiftly took charge of the array. In a chilling flash of gray-white light, a figure of ice and snow rapidly approached Zhao Feng. It was a mysterious and elegant youth, his dark silver eyes rippling with powerful space-time ripples. The eye of space-time, the eye of death. Heavens, there's also the destruction dragon race. Zhao Feng appeared behind the giant man and fiercely slashed with the Chaos Origin Divine Sword. He hadn't expected for him to be instantly killed by Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng, that ancient god Blue Distance and his son trembled. A moment later, the miniature Chaos Origin Divine Sword exploded out of Zhao Feng's left eye. Swish, swish, swish. Zhao Feng coldly snorted. With a single thought, they could change everything in the world with unimaginable power. Members of the blazing gold race, follow me to kill Zhao Feng. Back then, he had been stopped by the Black Destruction Dragon and Zhao Kong, allowing Zhao Feng and ancient god Origin Jade to escape. At this moment, Master Li's voice came from the rear. It was a black-clothed and callous youth with a gloomy face and shrouded in death energy. His eyes were like abysses of death, frightening to behold. At the same time, Master Li took a few steps forward. He was also a peak rank 9, but even though he was a member of the Blazing Gold race, after seeing Zhao Feng's performance, he wasn't confident at all. Zhao Kong was still helping the Black Destruction Dragon while Zhao Wang was like a god of death, wantonly slaughtering. Bang! Ever since Zhao Feng saved Ancient God Ice Flame, his ranking on the Blazing Gold race's bounty board had skyrocketed to the top 3. In a flash. Plush. Everyone, there's no need to worry. Does Masterly have a plan? So strong. However, they were extremely wary of Zhao Feng's strength, so they temporarily refrained from taking action. Boosh. Boom. In the distance, the members of the spiritual race were also stunned. Ancient God Ice Flame's eyes widened in shock, her face grimacing. The giant man punched out with both fists, unleashing a scorching ball of fire exuding dazzling golden light at Zhao Feng. Wearing the space-time robe, Zhao Feng had the advantage in speed, allowing him to slaughter with abandon. It's Zhao Feng. This person is a peak rank 9 with abnormal strength. How could this be? Not even a reincarnated God Lord would be able to advance as quickly as him. Wearing the space-time robe, Zhao Feng blinked away. Don't even think about it. No! One green array flag after another flew out, forming a strange image. Broom. Swish. Chapter 1419. How could this be? Masterly called out in alarm. The giant man was a peak rank 9 of the Blazing Gold race, and he had an extremely thick bloodline and excellent talent. In the future, he even had a chance of becoming a God Lord. The giant man had only wanted to stop Zhao Feng for a few moments so that he could complete the array. He had never expected that he would not return and would be instantly killed by Zhao Feng. The ancient gods within the demon-slaughtering celestial fire array trembled in panic. Zhao Feng was simply too powerful. A peak rank 9 ancient god was powerless to resist and could only be killed. Everyone, don't panic. The demon-slaughtering celestial fire array is complete. We'll definitely be able to kill this boy. Masterly immediately called out. Although the giant man was missing from the array, the power generated by the array was still enough to threaten a half-step God Lord. Focus on controlling the array and kill Zhao Feng. The ancient god expert's eyes hardened. Masterly still had a certain amount of prestige in the Blazing Gold race. The arrays he laid down had performed many miraculous feats for the Blazing Gold race. Kaboom! The flaming blade created by the array hung high above Masterly's head, exuding a dangerous and scorching energy. The nearby spiritual race members sensed this powerful energy and couldn't help but retreat. Zhao Feng die. Masterly controlled the array and the flaming blade in the air to slash down. Before the blade even reached him, a terrifying and powerful shockwave of flames was unleashed. At the same time, the blade also exuded a spatial energy that could effectively prevent nearby enemies from using instant movement to escape. Boom! That tyrannical saber slashed down directly, as if there was a long river of flames gushing out. Before this, Zhao Feng had transformed into a dreamy silver streak of light and dodged the attack. Do you only know how to dodge? Masterly coldly called out. But in reality, Masterly was extremely shocked. Zhao Feng was simply too fast. Even if they controlled the array, they would only be able to fight back against Zhao Feng, not kill him. Every array has a weakness or an opening. Zhao Feng activated his left eye and focused on the demon-slaughtering heaven fire array. In an instant, Zhao Feng understood everything that was going on inside the demon-slaughtering heavenly fire formation. Found it. Zhao Feng's eyes flashed. In the next moment, he left behind layers of shadows and approached the demon-slaughtering heavenly fire array. To dare approach the demon-slaughtering celestial fire array, he's truly seeking death. Moreover, not even a half-step God Lord would be able to break the defense of the demon-slaughtering celestial fire array. Masterly's face was filled with joy as he started to cast a spell. At the same time, the demon-slaughtering celestial fire formation released a huge ring-shaped fire wave. The closer Zhao Feng got, the greater the heat and pressure he felt. Even a half-step divine master with a weaker divine body would not dare to come into close contact with the demon-slaughtering heavenly fire formation. Chaotic Heaven Void Ring. Zhao Feng immediately activated his defensive combat skill, forming a dark silver halo around his body. Immediately, the Chaotic Heaven Void Ring blocked the scorching heat wave, and it continued to absorb its energy. The breakthrough point is here. As Zhao Feng approached the array, he slashed with the Chaos Origin Divine Sword. Boom! Bang! Zhao Feng's attack instantly left a small gap in the enormous flame array. However, the array had a self-healing ability, so the gap was quickly mended. But the moment this gap appeared, Zhao Feng's Chaos Origin Divine Sword unleashed a Chaos Origin Sword Bolt. No! Within the array, a rank 7 ancient god sensed death and fear on his face. But his cultivation was too low, so he had no chance of surviving a casual attack from Zhao Feng. Swoosh! The Chaos Origin Sword Bolt pierced through the rank 7 ancient god's body and pulverized it. Oh no! Master Li grimaced as he controlled the flame blade to attack Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng transformed into a streak of gold and silver light that instantly fled to the other side of the array. Damn it! Even if the space ultimacy is restricted, this kid's speed is still too fast. Master Li had a bitter look on his face. Although the demon-slaughtering celestial fire array was extremely powerful, its speed was mediocre. And now, with one less person, the array's power was greatly reduced. The rank 7 ancient god is where the array's defenses are weaker. This is the breakthrough point. Zhao Feng faintly smiled. This kid actually saw the breakthrough point of the array? Master Li's face was filled with hatred. Retreat. Master Li made his decision. Zhao Feng had the advantage in speed, and they were unable to harm him in the slightest. And Zhao Feng himself had seen through the demon-slaughtering celestial fire array's weak points. If this continued, the demon-slaughtering celestial fire array would collapse sooner or later, and not even he would be able to survive. Boom! Master Li and the others controlled the demon-slaughtering celestial fire array to retreat. None of you will be able to leave today. Zhao Feng bellowed as he shot forward. He approached the blazing gold race members in the demon-slaughtering celestial fire array. The people I want to kill must die. Zhao Feng's eyes focused as he once more went to the weak point of the demon-slaughtering celestial fire array. Chaos Origin Transformation. The Chaos Heaven Void Ring around him suddenly flowed back, transforming into majestic Chaos Origin Divine Power that was poured into the Chaos Origin Divine Sword in his hand. Bzzz. In a flash, the Chaos Origin Divine Sword in his hand became extremely heavy, and the Chaos Origin Giant God Sword expanded to several thousand feet in length, unleashing terrifying ripples of chaotic energy that shook the world. For a moment, the powerful ancient gods on the battlefield, including the half-step ancient gods, all sensed this and were flabbergasted. Die! The massive Chaos Origin Divine Sword swept through everything in its path. It cleaved the demon-slaughtering celestial fire array in two, causing it to crumble and disintegrate. In this process, the massive Chaos Origin Divine Sword continued to devour the array's energy, its power undiminished as it swept through the ancient gods within the array. Ah! Screams of despair rang out as nearly 10 ancient gods, including rank 7 and rank 8 ancient gods, were killed by the sword. What terrifying chaotic energy! Master Li's face was filled with fear as he led his heavily injured subordinates out of the explosion of the array. Want to leave? Zhao Feng faintly smiled and prepared to attack again. But at this moment, an enormous pressure engulfed Zhao Feng. Ancient God Dark Crow, save me! Master Li immediately called for help. A skinny old man in a dark green robe rushed over. Zhao Feng, you're too impudent. Ancient God Dark Crow growled. He, Ancient God Dark Crow, was quite famous throughout the ancient desolate realm of gods, but he had lost to a rising star like Zhao Feng some time ago. He wanted to kill Zhao Feng just as much as he did Ancient God Ice Flame. A loser! Zhao Feng flatly said, ignoring Ancient God Dark Crow. If you and Ancient God Origin Jade hadn't worked together, this old man would never have lost. Ancient God Dark Crow's face went red in fury as he bellowed. Kaboom! His entire body was shrouded in mists of various colors as he flew toward Zhao Feng. At this moment, ancient god Dark Crow was like a cancer, his entire body covered in poison. Even a half-step god lord would lose a layer of skin if they were infected. Ancient god Dark Crow, I spared your life last time, but since you've delivered yourself to me, I won't be polite. Zhao Feng's eyes chilled as he fearlessly charged at ancient god Dark Crow with the Chaos Heaven Void Ring. What a joke! Spare my life. Ancient god Dark Crow immediately began to laugh. Although he wasn't confident that he could kill Zhao Feng also wasn't confident that he could kill him. Frigid ice mist. With a wave of ancient god Dark Crow's hand, ancient god Dark Crow unleashed a gray-white poisonous mist. The grayish-white icy poisonous mist instantly formed an isolated icy poison domain. All the divine power and vitality within the domain were corroded by the icy poison. Zhao Feng was just about to approach when he realized that even his Chaos Heaven Void Ring was being affected, its power gradually weakening. At the same time, when he tried to send his divine sense into the mist, it would also be corroded by the ice. Haha, this is a secret art that I created using a new poison I developed to deal with you. Ancient god Dark Crow loudly laughed from within the frigid ice mist. After losing to Zhao Feng last time, he had made ample preparations. This frigid ice mist had the effect of isolating divine sense. If Zhao Feng didn't charge in, he would find it very difficult to injure ancient god Dark Crow. But once he did, he would be assailed by the frigid ice mist, causing his speed and divine power to slow down. Suddenly, a dark green beam of light shot out of the mist. Zhao Feng's reaction was sharp and he quickly dodged. He had to admit that ancient god Dark Crow truly was very talented in the poison Dao. This frigid ice mist was rather effective at countering Zhao Feng's abilities. Even the chaotic heaven void ring would be affected, and its power would weaken. But if his divine sense couldn't enter, would Zhao Feng be unable to determine ancient god Dark Crow's position? BZZ. A dreamy mist spun out of his left eye as the see-through ability of Zhao Feng's left eye was instantly boosted. Within the frigid ice mist, ancient god Dark Crow's body trembled. He suddenly sensed that Zhao Feng was staring at him. Swish. Suddenly, the mist in Zhao Feng's left eye flashed as a miniature Chaos Origin Divine Sword shot out. No! Ancient god Dark Crow was dumbfounded. Zhao Feng had actually been able to lock onto his position? Swoosh. Unable to dodge, ancient god Dark Crow was pierced through by the miniature Chaos Origin Divine Sword, causing him to vomit blood. At this moment, an extremely broad Chaos Origin Divine Sword slashed down from the sky. No! Ancient god Dark Crow hastily dodged, but he was still a little too late. Swoosh. Swoosh. Zhao Feng's Chaos Origin Divine Sword slashed at ancient god Dark Crow's right shoulder, and then it severed ancient god Dark Crow's right arm. Ah! Ancient god Dark Crow screamed as he endured the intense pain and swiftly retreated. You think you can escape? Zhao Feng sneered as he condensed a Chaos Origin Divine Sword in his other hand. Swish. Swish. Two Chaos Origin Divine Swords, 100 feet long, crisscrossed and slashed at ancient god Dark Crow. Boom. Bang. Ancient god Dark Crow immediately threw out a 5-colored pearl and detonated it. Various powerful poisons instantly exploded to block Zhao Feng's attack. How could this be? He's even stronger than before. Did he not use his full strength last time? Ancient god Dark Crow's body trembled, his mind filled with fear. Kaboom! The two massive Chaos Origin Divine Swords pierced through the poisonous mist and slashed down. Although they were somewhat weakened, they were still not something ancient god Dark Crow could block. Bang! Two gruesome wounds appeared on ancient god Dark Crow's back, exposing his flesh and bones. Swish! The Chaos Origin Divine Sword in Zhao Feng's left hand suddenly vanished, replaced by a crystal mirror made of lightning. 9 Lightning Soul Refinement. 9 thick lightning dragons were released from the 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror. The 9 lightning dragons soared into the sky and then began to descend. Boom! The 9 lightning dragons bombarded ancient god Dark Crow's body, their boundless lightning energy madly torturing ancient god Dark Crow to a state worse than death. All this lightning energy transformed into lightning chains that bound ancient god Dark Crow's soul. Chapter 1420. Swish swish swish. The 9 lightning dragons transformed into dazzling lightning chains that bound ancient god Dark Crow's soul and bombarded it with lightning and thunder. No, no! Ancient god Dark Crow's soul was half dragged out of his body by the lightning chains. He had heard of the 9 lightning soul refining mirror before. Although it wasn't very strong offensively, its binding power was top class. Once it fell into the 9 lightning soul refining mirror, it would be refined by endless lightning and ultimately turned into a lightning soul crystal. Get in! A powerful soul intent appeared in Zhao Feng's left eye, accompanied by the energy of tribulation lightning. Boom! Ancient god Dark Crow's soul was struck by a wave of dizziness. Ancient god Dark Crow's resistance instantly plummeted. Swish! The 9 lightning soul refining mirror used this chance to unleash lightning runes on the lightning chains. Amidst the explosions, ancient god Dark Crow's soul was dragged into the 9 lightning soul refining mirror. The screams came to a sudden halt. Ancient god Dark Crow has fallen? In the distance, Master Li and the others who saw this scene were so scared that they trembled. Too frightening. Even a half-step god lord was no match for Zhao Feng. With ancient god Dark Crow's death, many of the nearby Blazing Gold race members retreated in fear, leaving Zhao Feng in complete disarray. The spiritual race members were pleasantly surprised. As expected of Zhao Feng, he broke through to rank 6 of the Heavenly Divine Realm and reached peak rank 9 in such a short amount of time. Moreover, he's even stronger than a half-step god lord. Most of the spiritual race members were stunned. A few of the young and beautiful girls had adoring looks in their eyes. At the same time, several 100,000 li away, on the God Lord battlefield, a deafening boom could be heard. Boom, bush, bush. An icy stream of water and a strange golden flame intertwined, causing space to distort and tremble. In the center of this destructive storm, a middle-aged spiritual race man in blue crystal glanced down and muttered, "This young man isn't bad." In this battlefield of 3 God Lords, the 2 races were roughly equal in strength. The 2 races had their own advantages. The spiritual race was skilled in protracted battles and had powerful defense and recovery abilities, while the Blazing Gold race was skilled in explosive power. If this continued, the spirit race bloodlines seemed to have the advantage. It doesn't affect the overall situation. On the other side, one of the 3 God Lords of the Blazing Gold race was a Golden Elder, and as he glanced at Zhao Feng, he had an indifferent expression on his face. Below the battlefield. Compared to the battle between the Divine Masters, the battle between the upper echelons of the 2 clans was even more intense. The most intense battle was between high-level ancient gods and half-step god lords. Golden Flame Wave. Elder Jin's golden blade danced wildly in the air. Golden flames filled the sky and swept towards the spiritual tribe's 3rd elder. Elder Jin was the strongest half-step god lord of the Blazing Gold race, and he had comprehended a sliver of law energy. Coupled with the supreme quality divine artifact in his hand, he could be considered one of the strongest experts on this battlefield. Earth Crystal Solid Domain. The 3rd elder of the spiritual race surged with his dark yellow crystalline divine power, manipulating the power of the earth. Rumble. Layers of translucent dark yellow crystals began to form around the 3rd elder, instantly forming a thick and sturdy crystal fortress that blocked Elder Jin's near-godlord attacks. These 2 represented a battle between the peak half-step god lords of the 2 races. Other rank 8 or rank 9 ancient gods could not even get close. On the nearby battlefield, several half-step god lords and high-level ancient gods were fighting. Ancient god Origin Jade had yet to recover from her heavy injuries, so she could only work with other ancient gods to deal with a half-step god lord of the Blazing Gold race. Originally, the upper echelons of the 2 races were on par with each other. But Zhao Feng's killing of ancient god Dark Crow and 10 some ancient gods had a certain effect on the battle. In the upper echelon battlefield, the scales of victory were gradually tipping in the spiritual race's favor. This sight made the spiritual race god lord smile. Although the spiritual race bloodline was not the strongest in terms of fighting power, they were superior to the blazing gold race in terms of endurance and defense. If this continued, the spiritual race would have a major advantage. But at this moment, the situation on the battlefield suddenly changed. Come, mobilize the molten gold beast. Elder Jean roared. Brum. As he spoke, the world began to tremble in the rear of the blazing gold race's camp, and a scorching and berserk energy surged into the air. A gigantic ancient beast the size of a mountain was charging toward the battlefield. This desolate behemoth was nearly 100,000 feet long. Its eyes were like the blazing sun, and its entire body was covered in blazing golden fur. From a distance, it looked like an erupting mountain of flames. Each step it took shook the heavens and earth. Not good. It's the molten gold beast. This is the blazing gold race's molten gold beast? It's rumored that the blazing gold race paid an enormous price to raise it into a divine beast. Many of the spiritual race's seniors tensed up. They had long ago heard that the blazing gold race had obtained a mutated ancient beast and used secret envoys to raise it, allowing this molten gold beast to obtain various strange abilities. It was said that the molten gold flame energy in the molten gold beast was extremely compatible with the blazing gold race bloodline and could even be transferred to the blazing gold race, greatly increasing their fighting power. Quickly kill the molten gold beast. The third elder ordered, transmitting his order to the entire battlefield. The molten gold beast could not be allowed to join with the upper echelon members of the blazing gold race, or else the blazing gold race's fighting power would be greatly increased. In a flash, the powerful ancient gods of the spiritual race, including half-step god lords, began to approach the molten gold beast. The blazing gold race did not hold back either. Several half-step god lords immediately led a few ancient gods to assist the molten gold beast. Send more people. We have to kill the molten gold beast. The spiritual race's third elder worriedly commanded the battlefield below the god lord level. With the molten gold beast at the center, the upper echelon forces of the two races clashed. The molten gold beast roared, its golden flames fusing with the blazing gold race's bloodline energy, creating a golden hurricane that could incinerate all things. Swoosh! In the blink of an eye, no less than 10 ancient gods of the spiritual race were slain by the golden flame hurricane. Even the rank 7 ancient gods and true gods on the periphery were affected. Tens of thousands of true gods were killed. We can't let them succeed. Everyone, get ready. The third elder roared. BZZ. With him at the center, the nearby half-step god lords and rank 8 and rank 9 ancient gods activated their spiritual race bloodlines. Celestial Spirit Crystal Wall. In a flash, multicolored bloodline light permeated the surrounding light, forming a crystal wall that covered the entire battlefield. Swoosh! The terrifying golden hurricane crashed against the crystal wall, but it did not budge. On the God Lord battlefield, the 6 God Lords slightly raised their eyebrows. Interesting. Is this the spiritual race's trump card? As expected of the Celestial Spirit Crystal Wall. It can use bloodline energy to assimilate with the world and turn it into a crystal. Not even a normal God Lord would be able to easily break through such a frightening defense. It's said that this Celestial Spirit Crystal Wall can even change its form to attack. No one below the God Lord level will be able to block it. The 3 God Lords of the blazing gold race faintly smiled and replied. The 3 God Lords of the spiritual race found this strange. At this moment, although my race plans to raise the molten gold beast into a divine beast, any sacrifice is worth it for the sake of victory in this war. Below, Elder Jean sighed. Sacrifice? Oh no. These words caused the third elder's expression to change greatly. Retreat. In an instant, the third elder's resounding voice reverberated throughout the heavens and earth. Too late. Elder Jin's voice was tinged with a lethal chill. BZZ. Boom. Boom. A forbidden energy suddenly rippled from the mountainous molten gold beast's body. The spiritual race experts near the molten gold beast immediately sensed danger, trembled, and retreated. With a low and miserable roar, the molten gold beast's body began to swell, and the blazing golden fur on its body began to glow even brighter. A moment later, countless tiny cracks appeared on the molten gold beast's golden body as boundless and berserk energy surged out. Boom! Like a sun exploding, a destructive wave of golden light swept over the battlefield, turning everything in its path to ash. Even the celestial spirit crystal wall was bombarded with countless cracks. The spiritual race ancient gods closer to the molten gold beast were instantly obliterated. Aya! At this moment, the spiritual race lost 10 some rank 9 ancient gods. Even the 2 nearby spiritual race half-step divine lords were slain on the spot. The blazing gold race, however, had already planned this. Before the molten gold beast self-detonated, the nearby blazing gold race experts had already used a secret art to retreat. Moreover, the molten gold beast's golden flame divine power could be absorbed by the blazing gold race bloodline, so this explosion did little damage to the blazing gold race. The blazing gold race, to think that they would use this move. Zhao Feng paled, a silver ripple appearing on his space-time robe. Even from far away, he could still feel the powerful shockwaves. Sacrificing a half-step godlord ancient beast was a little too ruthless, no? After a long while, whoosh, the dazzling golden light began to fade. What entered the field of vision? The spiritual race had suffered grievous losses. What? The spiritual race's third elder froze to the spot, vomiting blood. The molten gold beast's self-detonation had cost the spiritual race 2 half-step godlords and 10 some rank 9 ancient gods. In addition, several half-step godlords had been heavily injured, and a few ancient gods had even temporarily lost the ability to fight. In the sky, what? The spiritual race patriarch's body trembled. Before the battle, we did something to the molten gold beast. Its self-detonation was far more powerful than a first heaven godlord's. Tisk, if not for the celestial spirit crystal wall, we wouldn't have just lost 2 half-step godlords. The blazing gold race godlords couldn't help but laugh. The 3 spiritual race godlords had extremely nasty grimaces. No one had expected the blazing gold race to use this race guardian beast as a sacrifice to self-detonate. Kill them all. Elder Jean reared his head back and laughed, his face turning savage. Swish. Swish, swish, swish. Under Elder Jin's command, countless figures of the blazing gold race charged at the heavily injured spiritual race. Kill. Our blazing gold race will win this battle. There's no doubt about it. The spiritual race brats, obediently accept your deaths. 2 enormous waves of dust collided together. The spiritual race immediately found themselves in a situation where they were on the receiving end of a beating. They were on the losing end. Ancient god Cloud Jade was one of them. Girl, are you the number 1 prodigy of the previous generation of the spiritual race? Let me play with you a little. A middle-aged man with a black horn on his head and pitch-black armor began to advance on Ancient God Origin Jade. Half-step God Lord. Ancient God Origin Jade had a bitter expression. She was already injured, and the molten gold beast's explosion had only worsened her injuries. Even if this black-horned man was just an ordinary half-step God Lord from another peak 4-star faction, she still wouldn't be able to contend against him. On the other end of the battlefield, it seems like I can no longer hold back. As Zhao Feng gazed at the gruesome scenes on the battlefield, his face chilled, and his silver hair danced in the wind, gleaming with dreamy light. Chapter 1421. The self-detonation of the molten gold beast had a destructive impact on the massive battlefield. The spiritual race had suffered grievous casualties, with 2 half-step godlords and 10 some rank 9 ancient gods dead. The remaining spiritual race experts were all heavily injured. The situation was dire. How could this be? Ancient God Origin Jade was confused. Suddenly, a pitch-black figure appeared near her. You're the number 1 genius of the spiritual race's previous generation? Let me play with you. A middle-aged man with a black horn on his head and pitch-black armor brazenly roamed over Ancient God Origin Jade's body. The shockwave from the explosion just now had damaged many parts of ancient god Origin Jade's clothes, exposing her alluring ice crystal skin. Half-step god lord. Ancient god Origin Jade had a bitter expression. She was already injured, and the explosion of the molten gold beast only worsened her injuries. Although this black-horned man was only a half-step god lord of a peak 4-star faction ruled by the blazing gold race, he could still casually kill her. Ha, relax. I won't kill you directly. I'll make you my captive. The black-horned man made no attempt to hide his desire. You shameless. Ancient god Origin Jade's face flushed with shame and anger as she bellowed. The spiritual race's momentum is over. Its defeat is assured. Obediently surrender. If you follow me, you'll still have a chance to live. The black-horned man wickedly chuckled as his body began to blaze with black flames. Swish. The black-horned man's body flashed, and then he charged at ancient god Origin Jade, accompanied by the pressure of flames. Damn, so strong. Ancient god Origin Jade immediately felt an immense pressure, her body burning with flames. At her peak, she naturally wouldn't have feared the black-horned man, but at this moment, she was powerless. The black-horned man was about to reach her. Suddenly, swish, swish. A dark silver sword was thrust out of the black-horned man's chest, and a few drops of black blood oozed out of it. Zhao Feng. Ancient god Origin Jade's crystalline eyes turned as she stared at the silver-clothed youth behind the black-horned man. Zhao Feng had saved her once more. Zhao Feng. The black-horned middle-aged man was startled. Originally, the Astrals had suffered heavy casualties, and the situation was completely one-sided. As such, he had never expected that someone would attack him at this time, allowing Zhao Feng's sneak attack to succeed. At the same time, the black-horned middle-aged man felt that all the energy in his body was being disrupted and devoured by a strange force field. Boom! The black-horned middle-aged man immediately erupted with his bloodline divine power, struggled free, and fled into the distance. There were too many things about Zhao Feng. Although many of them were unbelievable, it also proved that Zhao Feng was not simple. Coupled with Zhao Feng's attack just now, the black-horned man was even more convinced that Zhao Feng's strength far surpassed that of an ordinary half-step god lord. The black-horned middle-aged man flickered for a certain distance before he stopped and prepared to heal his injuries. Not good. Suddenly, he felt a sense of danger approaching, and his expression changed drastically. Pucci. At the same time, another mixed divine sword pierced through his back. This time, Zhao Feng's Chaos Divine Sword was even more powerful because it had absorbed energy before. Chaos Heaven Sword Cave. The Chaos Origin Divine Sword condensed in Zhao Feng's hand began to rapidly slash forward, unleashing a chaotic series of silver sword images that fused together into a twisted silver sword cave. Swish. At the same time, the 9 lightning soul refining mirror in Zhao Feng's other hand unleashed 9 chains of lightning that bound the black-horned man's soul. Ancient god Shadow Death screamed as his divine body was torn apart and devoured by Zhao Feng. Meanwhile, his soul was dragged into the 9 lightning soul refining mirror. The process of killing the black-horned man took less than 4 seconds. Even killing a powerful half-step god lord like ancient god Dark Crow had been extremely easy for Zhao Feng. As for an ordinary half-step god lord like the black-horned man, he could casually crush him. In the distance, ancient god Origin Jade was stunned. An ordinary half-step god lord was actually powerless against Zhao Feng. She even began to wonder if this aloof, calm, and powerful Zhao Feng was the same Zhao Feng that she had been taking care of all this time. After killing the black-horned man, Zhao Feng vanished from ancient god Origin Jade's sight. At a certain part of the battlefield, "Damn woman, your blazing gold race is truly willing to sacrifice such a rare beast." The Black Destruction Dragon wickedly chuckled. Boom! 2 dragon claws suffused with black and red draconic flames lashed at ancient god Ice Flame. Space-Time Blade. Zhao Kong's figure appeared behind the Black Destruction Dragon, and a wave of space-time blades shot out of his eyes. Damn! These 2 scoundrels are actually fine? Ancient god Ice Flame grimaced. In the face of the combined attacks of the Black Destruction Dragon and Zhao Kong, she could only passively defend. "Ha, you're looking down on the Destruction Dragon race too much." The Black Destruction Dragon sneered, appearing rather smug. Although the molten gold beast's explosion was powerful, he and Zhao Kong had been closely following ancient god Ice Flame, so they had managed to stay far away from the center of the explosion. The Black Destruction Dragon had an indestructible body, so this sort of explosion was naturally incapable of actually harming him. With his protection, Zhao Kong would also not be seriously injured. "Ancient god Ice Flame, I've come to help you." A handsome peak rank 9 man approached ancient god Ice Flame. The explosion of the molten gold beast had inflicted grievous losses on the spiritual race, but the blazing gold race now had plenty of manpower. Moreover, ancient god Ice Flame was a prodigy of the blazing gold race's previous generation and a goddess in the hearts of countless men. If she was in trouble, countless people would naturally come to her aid. Once this handsome man arrived, 1 or 2 more people arrived. At this moment, a voice resounded in the Black Destruction Dragon's mind: "Attack with all your strength. Kill ancient god Ice Flame." "Ah, damn woman, I won't keep playing with you." The Black Destruction Dragon chuckled. "You want to run?" Ancient god Ice Flame scornfully smiled. But how could she so easily let go of the Black Destruction Dragon and Zhao Kong? What a joke! The Black Destruction Dragon snorted as it opened its mouth and spat out a pearl covered in dragon flames. This was none other than the supreme quality divine artifact, the Dragon Flame Pearl. Zhao Kong's eye of spacetime also began to pulse, powerful spacetime energy revolving around his body. "Work together. Kill them." Ancient god Ice Flame's face chilled as she bellowed. The men around her rejoiced and began to use their powerful secret skills to kill the Black Destruction Dragon and Zhao Kong. But at this moment, a powerful ripple of energy approached. Ancient god Ice Flame's brow creased. Now that the spiritual race was on the back foot, a half-step god lord had actually come to deal with her. But a moment later, ancient god Ice Flame grimaced. Swish! A silver figure appeared in front of ancient god Ice Flame. Chaos Origin Divine Sword, / Chaos Origin Divine Power madly surged in Zhao Feng's hand, condensing into a massive Chaos Origin Divine Sword that he slashed forward. In a flash, a peak rank 9 and 2 rank 9 ancient gods were cleaved in two by Zhao Feng. Destruction Dragon Breath. The Black Destruction Dragon roared, and then it spat out a forbidden destruction energy from its mouth. Moreover, this destruction energy was much stronger now that it was released from the supreme quality divine artifact, the Dragon Flame Pearl. Boom! A giant black sun hung in the sky, emitting destructive forbidden flames that burned everything in its path. Oh no! Ancient god Ice Flame grimaced as she activated her defensive physical body. Her exquisite and translucent body was covered in layers of ice, which was incomparably hard. Kaboom! The Chaos Origin Divine Sword swept forward while the Destruction Dragon Breath blazed. In a flash, 2 peak rank 9 ancient gods and 3 rank 9 ancient gods had been killed. Only ancient god Ice Flame, with her formidable defense and immense strength, managed to escape the attacks of the two. Spatial Destruction Blade. Zhao Kong's Eye of Spacetime unleashed an indistinct white blade. Although Zhao Kong was only a rank 9 ancient god, his Eye of Spacetime was close to the quasi-god eye level. In a flash of light, the white blade shot forward with unfathomable speed. Ancient god Ice Flame, who had just escaped the attacks of Zhao Feng and the Black Destruction Dragon, was struck once more. Thump, thump. Ancient god Ice Flame's body swayed a few times as she vomited blood. But she did her utmost to maintain her clarity of mind and activate her blazing gold race bloodline to retreat. Zhao Feng is here. Hurry and kill him. Ancient god Ice Flame called out. In truth, she was asking for help, but she was too thick-skinned to say so. If no one came to help her, Zhao Feng, the Black Destruction Dragon, and Zhao Kong would work together to kill her. No one can save you. Zhao Feng growled as he charged forward. Hurry and save me. This time, ancient god Ice Flame, stimulated by the danger, called out. Die! Zhao Feng swung the Chaos Origin Divine Sword, leaving behind a gruesome wound on Ancient God Ice Flame's body. But Ancient God Ice Flame's bloodline was special, and the wound quickly healed. At the same time, the powerful flames were able to affect Zhao Feng's Chaos Origin Divine Sword. I'll let you have a taste of the Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword. Zhao Feng's eyes focused. Swish! Tribulation lightning energy madly surged out of his lightning soul body. In a flash, the Chaos Origin Divine Sword in Zhao Feng's hand seethed with lightning as it transformed into the Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword. Boom! A powerful destructive energy passed through the Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword and descended upon Ancient God Ice Flame. The combination of Tribulation Lightning Energy and Chaos Origin Divine Power boosted its power to a whole new level. A vast and destructive energy immediately began to wreak havoc on Ancient God Ice Flame's divine body. The shattered divine body was more easily absorbed by the Chaos Origin Divine Sword, further increasing the power of the Chaos Origin Divine Sword. Don't! This terrifying energy caused tears to fall from Ancient God Ice Flame's eyes as she cried out in fear. However, all his struggles were futile. Ancient God Ice Flame's body and soul twisted and shattered, ultimately dissipating from the world. So powerful! Zhao Feng was rather elated. What sort of technique is this? The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was stunned. This sword pierced through both body and soul, killing Ancient God Ice Flame. The nearby Blazing Gold race experts that were just about to arrive saw this scene and immediately fled in fright. Too terrifying. Ancient God Ice Flame was killed. A peak rank 9 Ancient God was scared out of his wits. Master, now we? The Black Destruction Dragon asked. Kill! Zhao Feng spat out a single word. After saying this, his body blinked away. Swish! In a flash, he left a bloody path in his wake, sweeping through everything in his path. Chapter 1422. Was he planning to face all of this alone? All was deathly still. Ancient God Floating Spirit asked in confusion. With a swing of Zhao Feng's sword, all was obliterated, and the roars came to an abrupt end. The Black Destruction Dragon's eyes blazed with dragon flames, its blood of slaughter awakened by Zhao Feng. The fiery-robed man's soul trembled as he retreated. Zhao Feng bellowed, and a vicious killing intent began to spread through the air, seeping into everyone's hearts. In a flash, countless bolts of savage lightning engulfed the entire Chaos Origin Divine Sword. Hurry! Surround and kill this kid together. Junior, you're doomed today. The two of them charged forward from the other side. A few moments later, the ancient gods that had been preparing to help Ancient God Ice Flame had all been slain by Zhao Feng's sword. The fiery-robed man's body was instantly set ablaze, and his robe of flame soared into the sky. The Black Destruction Dragon and Zhao Kong also charged forward. Over there. After killing so many people, the Chaos Origin Divine Sword had absorbed a great deal of energy, making it even stronger than before. Of course, the slaughter had not stopped yet. The Chaos Origin Divine Sword in his hand swung, unleashing a dark silver bolt that cleaved a rank 9 ancient god in two, shattering his divine soul. How could it be like this? It's so fast? Elder Jean immediately called out. After succeeding in its attack, the little thieving cat immediately fled. The remaining ancient god experts nearby all had ashen faces as they crumbled in despair. The black-robed elder bellowed. The mixed origin lightning tribulation swords might increased a little more than before, and the tremendous power within it poured toward the black-robed old man. The Chaos Origin Divine Sword in his hand flashed with astonishing ripples of divine power. Besides that, it also had powerful time intent. A boundless silver chain wrapped around the space between heaven and earth, giving off a powerful spatial energy. Elder, we have to hold on. At the same time, a translucent silver chain appeared in the black-robed elder's hand. The energy of the Chaos Origin Divine Sword soared to the point where even the fiery-robed man was alarmed by the danger of death. Boom! Bang! Crash! The black-robed elder's body exploded, leaving nothing behind. The black-robed elder barked. The black destruction dragon was shocked. But it was too late. The three of them madly slaughtered their way through the blazing gold race's territory. However, a strange and powerful time power suddenly enveloped his body. In a flash, the peak rank 9 and rank 9 ancient gods spread out and surrounded Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng had used his own speed to escape their encirclement and then took the initiative to kill his way back. This was simply a provocation and insult to them. As long as the encirclement was reduced to a certain extent, even if Zhao Feng were to kill someone, the people around him would be able to quickly reinforce him. But Zhao Feng was simply too fast. In the blink of an eye, he appeared in front of the two blazing gold race members, the Chaos Origin Divine Sword in his hand flying through the air. Chi-chi-chi! The black-robed old man immediately shouted, and everyone surrounded and attacked. Although Zhao Feng was in the territory of the blazing gold race, the ordinary true gods and ancient gods nearby all retreated in fear. They had gathered such a terrifying force to surround Zhao Feng, but they could only watch as Zhao Feng killed two ancient gods. In front of the blazing gold race, the remaining spiritual race army had formed a circle and was fighting and retreating. Since you're sending yourselves to your deaths, I won't be polite. It wasn't just Zhao Feng who had his space intent locked up, they were as well. But a strange white ripple spread across his body, instantly causing everything around him to slow to a crawl. What's going on? A portion of the blazing gold race has retreated. However, he only needed to hold down Zhao Feng for a few moments. Lock! Swoosh! Dish! 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 Two screams resounded through the air, signifying the death of two more powerful ancient gods. All the members of the blazing gold race were frozen to the spot, their faces slack. Kill! All the flames in the world had also dissipated. Damn! This brat is truly impudent, slaughtering the members of my blazing gold race like this. That's right. It's Zhao Feng. He's madly killing the members of the blazing gold race. Rank 9 ancient gods. Even peak rank 9 ancient gods have been crushed by him. Zhao Feng moved once more. Instead of retreating, he once more charged at the blazing gold race. What? Zhao Feng's expression was unperturbed, his calm voice suffused with icy killing intent. But there seemed to be a problem in the rear. He instantly appeared next to a rank 9 ancient god and slashed down with the Chaos Origin Divine Sword, destroying and devouring the ancient god's soul. Blood-curdling screams rang out incessantly. All the nearby experts were terrified as they fled in panic. Oh no! In the rear of the blazing gold race, Zhao Feng, the Black Destruction Dragon, and Zhao Kong were wreaking havoc. Wherever they went, blood would spurt out, carving out a bloody path. But at this moment, a silver-gray streak of light shot toward the black-robed elder's chest, suffused with a lethal chill. Such a powerful formation caused even the Black Destruction Dragon's gaze to tremble and become solemn. Although Zhao Feng had to be killed, this was a war, and exterminating the spiritual race was their primary objective. Boom! The black-robed elder chuckled. His body shot forward, leaving behind only a faint golden streak of wind lightning. Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword. Ancient God Origin Jade immediately said. Zhao Feng sneered, and then he vanished, leaving behind a streak of wind lightning. Too terrifying. He's a god of death. The fiery-robed man rejoiced. Zhao Feng was far too arrogant. He had the advantage in speed, but he was still attacking a half-step godlord. This sight made the nearby blazing gold race members tremble in fear. In terms of strength, the fiery-robed man knew that he was no match for Zhao Feng. A powerful time power descended upon him, slowing his movements, thoughts, and god power to a crawl. The black-robed elder cursed, but a moment later he grimaced. In a flash, the surrounding space was locked down, and space intent lost its effect. The black-robed elder saw that Zhao Feng was still as fast as ever and immediately called out. Careful! Ish! Run! The peak rank 9 knew of Zhao Feng's power and immediately fled. The third elder scanned the area with his divine sense, and his eyes went slack as he slowly called out. Oh no! Thus, if they wanted to deal with Zhao Feng, they needed to restrict his speed. Boom. But at this moment, Zhao Feng called out, "Leave this place to me. The two of you, go and help the spiritual race." No, don't. The middle-aged half-step god lord wearing a blazing robe ordered. Even if he didn't use space intent, Zhao Feng still had wind, lightning, and metal intents to increase his speed. Surround him. Damn, brat. The black-robed elder shot a glance at the black destruction dragon and Zhao Kong before turning his attention back to Zhao Feng. Boo. Let's start a massacre. After killing the fiery-robed man, Zhao Feng stared at the black-robed elder, the Chaos Origin Tribulation lightning sword in his hand rippling with dreadful energy. Not good. He wants to kill me. The moment he said this, the Chaos Origin Divine Sword was unstoppable, instantly piercing through the boundless fire energy and stabbing at the fiery-robed man's chest. This was the only thought left in the elder's mind. Even he would find it very difficult to survive that powerful attack of Zhao Feng's. Damn, that thieving cat. Now that the spiritual race had suffered a crushing defeat, he was leading the upper echelon members of the Blazing Gold race in pursuit of the spiritual race. This was especially true of Zhao Feng, who came and went without a trace, instantly killing everything in his path. Elder Qin, organize a group of experts and eliminate this brat. Ding, ding. The Blazing Gold race experts watched helplessly as Zhao Feng got closer and closer, only able to do their best to howl. The black-robed elder was a half-step god lord, and he brought another half-step god lord, 5 peak rank 9s, and 8 rank 9s with him. A rank 9's ancient god appeared fearful. A black-robed elder lowered his head and replied, his eyes flashing with killing intent. The Chaos Origin Divine Sword in Zhao Feng's hand condensed, and an invisible devouring force field began to absorb the energy of the world. What a powerful force! Ancient God Origin Jade gripped her jade sword, her eyes extremely determined as she unleashed several waves of crystalline green sword energy. Die! The Blazing Gold race had already sent such a powerful force to surround them, but Zhao Feng was telling them to leave. At this moment, even the commander of the team revealed a look of fear, his body trembling. Zhao Feng fearlessly charged at the fiery-robed man. No! Junior, don't be impudent. The hearts of all the spirit tribe members nearby shuddered when they heard this. The fiery-robed man wasn't too far from Zhao Feng, so he immediately rushed over. At this moment, Zhao Feng still hadn't given up. He was still fighting in the Blazing Gold race army to share the pressure. With a sweep of his divine sense, the upper echelon members of the Blazing Gold race grimaced. He waved his palms, controlling endless flames that transformed into flame beasts. In the sky, there was also a giant net of fire clouds. The black-robed elder bellowed, the silver chain in his hand rising into the air and expanding in size. Zhao Feng was so fast that not even a half-step godlord could compare. The Blazing Gold race was well aware of this. Swoosh! The fiery-robed man bellowed. The black-robed elder and the fiery-robed man immediately warned. Zhao Feng gripped his sword with both hands and slashed down. Zhao Feng's speed was so fast that no one could react to it, and he instantly caught up. Boom! Bang! Kill him! How could this be? The fiery-robed man stamped his feet in rage. But Zhao Feng had only just killed one person when he shot toward the peak rank 9 ancient god on the other side. Even without using space intent, they were still slower than Zhao Feng. Boom! Bang! He had sent Elder Qin over, but in the end, Elder Qin and the other half-step god lord were swiftly slaughtered by Zhao Feng. Nearly half of the ancient gods in the group had been killed as well. Zhao Feng's Chaos Origin Divine Sword suddenly flashed with lightning. At this moment, bang! Suddenly, waves of powerful auras rushed over. Time intent surged out, and Zhao Feng's body flickered as if he was using spatial blink. It's Zhao Feng. He's still in the Blazing Gold race army. Elder Jin was also rather confused. A powerful Chaos Origin devouring and destruction force field devoured or destroyed the surrounding energy, causing it all to vanish into nothingness. The black destruction dragon's eyes focused. What's going on in the rear? Up ahead, Elder Jean scanned with his divine sense and grimaced. Everyone turned to see that Zhao Feng had actually escaped their encirclement. The black-robed elder's body trembled, and countless tiny cracks appeared on his body. BZZ. A moment later, an enormous and tyrannical Chaos Origin lightning sword descended. Whoosh! Whoosh! Zhao Feng's speed was invincible, allowing him to easily escape their encirclement. The Chaos Origin divine sword pierced through the fiery-robed man's body, obliterating it. Even that veteran peak rank 9 ancient god was powerless against Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng coldly snorted. After glancing at the fiery-robed man, he charged forward. Truly ignorant. Junior, you won't be able to escape this time. Ugh. In the distance, the upper echelon members of the Blazing Gold Race army charging at the spiritual race were alarmed by this sight. When Zhao Feng stopped holding back and attacked with all his strength, he could easily crush any expert beneath the half-step godlord level. Chapter 1423. Zhao Feng's slaughter had left the upper echelon members of the Blazing Gold Race trembling in fear. As for the spiritual race, they were wild with joy. Zhao Feng already has this level of strength? The third elder had a complicated expression, but he was mostly happy. Zhao Feng's slaughter had raised the morale of the spiritual race and struck fear into the hearts of the Blazing Gold Race members. It was precisely because of Zhao Feng's slaughter that the spiritual race began to suffer less from the enemy attacks. So strong. He can ignore the Blazing Gold Race's encirclement. Many members of the spiritual race were stunned by Zhao Feng's slaughter. Damn, this kid can't be allowed to live. Elder Jin's expression was extremely gloomy. He had watched as Zhao Feng got stronger and stronger. This rate of growth made even him fearful. Ancient God Blood Eagle, come with me to kill Zhao Feng. Elder Jin suddenly said to another half-step godlord. The Blazing Gold Race still had the absolute advantage in the upper echelon battle of the spiritual race, but if they allowed Zhao Feng to continue his slaughter, the situation might reverse. Okay. A tall and slender ancient god shrouded in a dark red blood shadow answered. Ancient God Blood Eagle was a half-step god lord famed for his speed. Whoosh, whoosh. Two streaks of light shot toward Zhao Feng in the rear of the battlefield. Not good. Elder Jin is personally dealing with Zhao Feng. The third elder grimaced. Elder Jin was the strongest half-step god lord of the Blazing Gold Race and had grasped a sliver of law energy. He could be said to be one of the strongest experts on this battlefield below the godlord level. Alas, the third elder had been grievously injured by the molten gold beast's explosion and was powerless to stop him. Moreover, he could not leave this place, or else the remaining members of the spiritual race would be in grave danger. Zhao Feng, watch out! Ancient God Origin Jade called out into the distance. On the other end, Zhao Feng's eyes flashed as he saw Elder Jin and Ancient God Blood Eagle rapidly approaching him. You can't do anything to me. Zhao Feng chuckled as he swung the Chaos Origin Divine Sword once more. Pucci. Nearby, a rank 9 ancient god of the Blazing Gold Race who was attempting to flee had his soul destroyed. Impudent. Ignorant junior. When Elder Jin heard this, he was enraged and cursed loudly. He hadn't even made a move, but Zhao Feng had already said such words. This was the most direct provocation and insult to Elder Jin. In the distant horizon, on the God-Lord battlefield, good lad. The Spirit Race Patriarch's brows relaxed as he revealed a faint smile. Although the molten gold beast's self-destruction had dealt a heavy blow to the Spirit Race and put them in an unprecedented crisis, Zhao Feng's slaughter had saved the situation to a certain extent. The Spirit Race still had a chance. They had not lost yet. A bunch of useless fools. The Blazing Gold Race Patriarch snorted. Kill Zhao Feng. Elder Jin bellowed. Quite a few rank 9 ancient god experts and above began to gather on the battlefield. At the start, Zhao Feng's slaughter had struck fear into their hearts. But now that Elder Jin had personally taken action and given the order, they did not dare to disobey. Moreover, Elder Jin was a peak half-step god lord expert, and Ancient God Blood Eagle was an ancient god famed for his speed. Zhao Feng had no chance to continue acting so arrogantly. Good. In this situation, Zhao Feng chuckled and shot forward. However many came, he would kill them all. Kill. Zhao Feng held the Chaos Origin Divine Sword in his right hand and the 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror in his left. Sword bolts and lightning bolts rampaged across the battlefield. Boom. Zhao Feng traversed the battlefield, leaving a trail of chaos in his wake as he killed everything in his path. A rank 9 ancient god was slain by a single sword strike. Peak rank 9 ancient gods were also swiftly harvested by Zhao Feng, either killed or had their souls absorbed into the 9 lightning soul refining mirror. Junior, if you have the skill, come and kill me. Elder Jin's eyes blazed with golden flames as he roared. In terms of speed, even Elder Jin and Ancient God Blood Eagle were slightly inferior to Zhao Feng. At this moment, Zhao Feng was wantonly slaughtering his way through the battlefield, but the two of them were too slow to catch up. Swish. Swish. Elder Jin and Ancient God Blood Eagle led many rank 9 experts in pursuit of Zhao Feng. A single rank 9 or peak rank 9 ancient god wouldn't be able to last for long against Zhao Feng. Thus, they followed the 2 half-step god lords in fear, not daring to lose track of them. Zhao Feng, with the Chaos Origin Divine Sword and 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror, once more caught up to a rank 9 and rank 8 ancient god. The two put all their strength into burning their divine power as they madly fled. Don't even think about it. A massive bloody bolt of light came from the distance, and a heavy and oppressive stench of blood engulfed Zhao Feng's body. The ancient god Blood Eagle transformed into a dark bloody bolt of light. As he flew forward, he absorbed large amounts of blood and increased his speed. In a flash, ancient god Blood Eagle closed in on Zhao Feng. Blood Fiend Bind. Ancient god Blood Eagle extended his claws, and vast amounts of blood Dao divine power wove around Zhao Feng. Gulp. A dark red pond of evil blood appeared around Zhao Feng. Countless savage red claws extended from the blood pond to grab at Zhao Feng. Many members of the blazing gold race rejoiced and cheered. Zhao Feng's slaughter had struck fear into all of them, and all the members of the blazing gold race fervently hoped that Zhao Feng would be killed. Since you're sending yourself to death, I'll fulfill your wish. Zhao Feng's eyes chilled as he stared at ancient god Blood Eagle. A layer of Chaos Origin divine power surged around his body, instantly forming a dark silver halo. The moment the bloody claws touched the Chaos Heaven Void Ring, their power was halved. At the same time, all the energy in the blood pond was being devoured by Zhao Feng's Chaos Heaven Void Ring. Chaos Origin Conversion. The Chaos Heaven Void Ring around Zhao Feng suddenly surged, transforming into countless streams of silver that poured into the Chaos Origin Divine Sword. BZZ. In a flash, the Chaos Origin Divine Sword in Zhao Feng's hands swelled to several hundred feet long. It unleashed a chaotic ripple of energy that shook the world. Nearby, Ancient God Blood Eagle and the other rank 9 ancient gods trembled in shock. Oh no! Ancient God Blood Eagle grimaced as he sensed danger. He immediately turned and fled. He had already stopped Zhao Feng for a few moments, and Elder Jin was on his way. Once everyone worked together, Zhao Feng was doomed. Thus, he had no need to continue fighting with Zhao Feng. Die! Zhao Feng gripped his sword with both hands and slashed. The massive Chaos Origin Divine Sword swept forward with unstoppable momentum, obliterating several nearby ancient gods. Ancient God Blood Eagle, affected by time intent, was unable to escape from Zhao Feng's attack range in time and was struck by the giant god sword. How could he be so powerful? Ancient God Blood Eagle's face was ghastly pale. Half of his body had been destroyed by Zhao Feng, causing blood to gush out. Chaos Origin Divine Sword. Zhao Feng's left eye focused on Ancient God Blood Eagle's body, and a miniature Chaos Origin Divine Sword immediately shot forward. Ah! With a scream, Ancient God Blood Eagle's soul was obliterated. At this moment, the entire battlefield was thrown into disarray. The team led by Ancient God Blood Eagle had been almost completely annihilated by Zhao Feng. No! Zhao Feng, this old man will make you into 1,000 pieces. A furious roar resounded through the air. Elder Jin's eyes were bloodshot as he approached. Then let's see if you have the ability. After killing Ancient God Blood Eagle, Zhao Feng did not continue to kill the others, instead choosing to confront Elder Jin. Good. You finally stopped running. Let this old man end you. Elder Jin's face was savage and brimming with killing intent. Boom. Elder Jin's body suddenly burst forth with shocking flames as he turned into a scorching meteor and smashed toward Qin Wenin. At this moment, the area for tens of thousands of li around Zhao Feng was engulfed by a scorching pressure. A normal rank 9 ancient god would find it impossible to move under this pressure. Zhao Feng shot forward, the Chaos Origin Divine Sword in his hand growing longer as he slashed at Elder Jin. Boom! Bang! Elder Jin swung his steely fist, blocking Zhao Feng's attack. Junior, this level of attack has no effect on me. Elder Jin bellowed as he grabbed the Chaos Origin Divine Sword, berserk bloodline divine power surging out of his body as he attempted to shatter Zhao Feng's Chaos Origin Divine Sword. Is that so? Zhao Feng chuckled. Swish. His lightning soul body unleashed 10,000 bolts of lightning. A moment later, countless bolts of tribulation lightning surged from one end of the Chaos Origin Divine Sword to the other. Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword formed. Bang! The enormous destructive energy of the Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword instantly surged into Elder Jin's palm. At the same time, the devouring ability of the Chaos Origin Divine Sword was greatly strengthened. Die! Zhao Feng swung his hand. Swish! Swish! The Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword chopped off Elder Jin's right hand. Tribulation Lightning Energy. Elder Jin's expression darkened. Chaos Origin Divine Power was already extremely powerful, and now that it was fused with Tribulation Lightning Energy, its destructive power was even stronger. Even his defensive body found it hard to take it head-on. Anyone below the God Lord level can be destroyed. Zhao Feng coldly said as he stared at Elder Jin. These words caused everyone's hearts to tremble as they felt an invisible danger. Just now, Elder Jin's hand had been chopped off by Zhao Feng. Good. This old man will let you experience the power of a law. Elder Jin was so angry that he began to laugh. At this moment, Zhao Feng had the advantage in speed, and the Chaos Origin Divine Power and Tribulation Lightning was something that Elder Jin found hard to take. If he wanted to kill Zhao Feng, he would have to use a law. Boom! In a flash, Elder Jin's body began to exude a mysterious and unfathomable energy. The golden flames on his divine body instantly swelled to 4 times their original size. The entire world began to burn with golden flames, and all other energies were suppressed. Meanwhile, the power of Zhao Feng's Chaos Origin Divine Sword was greatly weakened. Shameless boastful brat, die! Elder Jin's eyes were filled with disdain. Swish! A massive golden saber appeared in his hand, and it immediately began to blaze with dazzling golden flames. Burn into nothingness in this boundless fire. Elder Jin roared as he charged forward, the massive saber blazing with golden flames slashing at Zhao Feng. This dreadful power left all the ancient gods and half-step god lords on the battlefield stunned. The spiritual race's third elder also revealed a helpless expression. Kaboom! The boundless flames were on the verge of engulfing Zhao Feng. But at this moment, something unexpected occurred. An unfathomable and mysterious light suddenly emerged from Zhao Feng's body. You're not the only one who has a law. Zhao Feng called out. How could this be? Elder Jin's expression changed drastically. At this moment, the world around him had almost come to a standstill. His fire law had been suppressed, causing the power of his attacks to drop by a level. Buzz. Bzz. At the same time, the Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword in Zhao Feng's hand began to flash with white light. The Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword infused with a time law slashed down. Everything in the world seemed to come to a standstill. Only this sword continued to move. Elder Jin could only watch as this sword slashed down, unable to dodge. Ding! Plush! Plush! The Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword slashed at Elder Jin's chest, tearing open a massive wound. Blood madly gushed out, but it was immediately absorbed by Zhao Feng's Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword to increase its power. Its power rose again. Another slash. Zhao Feng gripped the sword with both hands, madly pouring out Chaos Origin Divine Power as the sword continued to slash down. Swish. Swish. As the golden flames scattered, Elder Jin's body was cleaved in two by Zhao Feng's sword. Chapter 1424. At this moment, Elder Jin was powerless to resist, and he was cleaved in two by Zhao Feng's sword. Ah! Elder Jin's pained howl resounded over the battlefield, causing all the blazing gold race members to freeze in place, their scalps going numb. On the battlefield of those below the God Lord level, Elder Jin was their highest commander, their strongest expert. But now, even Elder Jin had been cleaved in two by Zhao Feng's sword. Of course, besides Elder Jin, Zhao Feng had also killed several half-step God Lords and countless peak rank 9 experts. Today's events were destined to be engraved in their minds, impossible to erase. Damn it, Zhao Feng, this old man will tear you into 10,000 pieces. Elder Jin's pained and venomous voice resounded. He didn't expect that he would be defeated by a junior. He was a mighty half-step God Lord, and one who had comprehended a sliver of Allah at that, but he had actually lost to a peak rank 9 ancient god. Hisses. At the same time, a golden flame extended from the two halves of Elder Jin's body, connecting them together and attempting to heal. However, there was an inextinguishable lightning tribulation's power on the wound that was cut. The injury caused by it was undying and undying. Even Elder Jin would need some time to recover from the wound inflicted by Zhao Feng's Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword. There's no need to recover. You're doomed. Zhao Feng's icy voice rang out. Swish. The Chaos Origin Divine Sword in Zhao Feng's hand exuded dreadful ripples of energy that shook the world. When he killed Elder Jin, the Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword had absorbed some of the energy in Elder Jin's body, making it even stronger. How could this be? Elder Jin grimaced as he sensed the danger of death. His soul body immediately leaped out and fled into the distance. Die! Zhao Feng focused, his left eye turning into a dreamy abyss. Elder Jin hadn't gotten very far when he felt a powerful suction directed at his soul. At the same time, the Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Divine Sword in Zhao Feng's hands slashed forward. Swoosh! Immobilized by the gaze of the God Eye, Elder Jin's soul was pierced through by the Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Divine Sword. The attack of the Chaos Origin Lightning Tribulation Sword pierced through both the physical body and the soul. The boundless power of Chaos Origin Lightning Tribulation acted on Elder Jin's soul. Boom! In less than a breath's time, Elder Jin's soul completely dissipated. No. Elder Jin has fallen. This isn't real. All the members of the blazing gold race trembled, their hearts turning cold in disbelief. On the other hand, the spirit race's face was filled with excitement. His blood surged as he charged forward. Kill the entire blazing gold race. The blazing gold race's Elder Jin is dead, and we still have Zhao Feng on our side. The spiritual race will definitely win. The spirit race's morale was greatly boosted, and they launched a counterattack. At this point, Zhao Feng had become the backbone of the Astrals. Shio. After killing Elder Jin, Zhao Feng shot toward the blazing gold race army. Even though Elder Jin was dead, the spirit race had not yet achieved complete victory. The battle was not over yet, so the slaughter could not be stopped. Kill all the half-step god lords of the blazing gold race, and everything will be over. Zhao Feng muttered. Wherever he went, he left behind a path of blood as he swept through everything in his path. Hurry and retreat. This person is too strong. Even Elder Jin was killed. All the members of the blazing gold race stared at Zhao Feng, treating him as a taboo and putting some distance between them. Zhao Feng's body rapidly traversed the battlefield. He immediately locked onto a half-step god lord and attacked. If he wanted to change the course of this battle, all he could do was kill all the half-step god lords on the other side. No. The golden-robed elder grimaced in fear. He struggled to escape, but it was useless. On this battlefield, Zhao Feng was the true master. No one could stop him. The nearby Blazing Gold race members were so frightened that their legs went soft and they fled for their lives. Boom! Bang! A half-step god lord was easily killed by Zhao Feng. It wasn't long before another half-step god lord was killed. He specialized in killing half-step god lords. This sight caused the remaining half-step god lords on the battlefield to tremble in fear and despair. This unstoppable slaughter caused the Blazing Gold race's fear of Zhao Feng to rise to a whole new level. The slaughter continued, and all the members of the Blazing Gold race were on the verge of collapse from despair. The entire battlefield was filled with the fleeing figures of the Blazing Gold race. On the God Lord battlefield, the 3 God Lords of the Blazing Gold race were stunned. That Junior actually managed to kill Elder Jean. Half of the upper echelon members of my Blazing Gold race were killed by this kid. The 2 God Lords of the Blazing Gold race were enraged. I'll cut this kid into 1,000 pieces. The Blazing Gold race patriarch was enraged and prepared to charge into the battlefield and personally kill Zhao Feng. It could be said that Zhao Feng had single-handedly ruined this wonderful situation. A mighty second heaven god lord is actually going to attack a peak rank 9 junior? The spiritual race patriarch jeered as he waved his hand, unleashing a torrent of blue crystalline water at the Blazing Gold race patriarch. I didn't think that the spiritual race's war would be averted by Zhao Feng. The spiritual race's second elder emotionally sighed. Although he had guessed that Zhao Feng possessed extraordinary strength, he hadn't expected Zhao Feng to be this strong, able to rampage through anyone below the God Lord level. Whoosh! With a wave of his hand, a white crystalline hurricane swept forward, obliterating all the golden flames in its path. Umph! The stooped old man let out a low snort and spread his arms, releasing boundless golden flames. The golden raging flame instantly formed a rotating ring of flame that blocked the second elder's attack. The second elder attacked once more, unleashing one white hurricane after another with heaven-shaking energy. Meanwhile, the hunchbacked elder circulated his defensive body, sending out countless golden flames to block the second elder's attack. Only defending and not attacking? The second elder sensed the strangeness of the hunchbacked elder, God Lord Fire Cloud. In terms of fighting power, God Lord Fire Cloud was stronger than him, but God Lord Fire Cloud was taking a defensive stance. Was it because the outcome was already decided and the Blazing Gold race God Lord had given up on the final battle? But at this moment, an elder suddenly appeared in the distance, his face dark and ugly, his aura sinister and sinister. He was a peak rank 9. Even more shocking was that this ugly elder was heading straight for the God Lord battlefield. The 3 spiritual race God Lords' gazes darkened in confusion. As God Lords, they were extremely knowledgeable and could see through even the smallest details. A peak rank 9 charging toward the God Lord battlefield was simply suicidal, but the more this was the case, the more strange it seemed. It's still not certain who will win. God Lord Fire Cloud savagely laughed, his body erupting with boundless flame energy. Boom! Bang! The energy of the 2 God Lords collided and cancelled each other out. At this moment, Kikik! The hideous old man fearlessly charged toward the second elder of the spirit race like a moth flying into a flame. A peak rank 9 charging at a God Lord? Wasn't this suicidal? Many of the people present found this situation very strange. Scram! The second elder could see that this person was acting strangely and would not allow him to get close. He subconsciously created a crystalline white hurricane that swept forward. The ugly elder was obliterated by the second elder's God Lord level attack. Suicidal? The second elder was stunned, and then he felt a chill spread through the depths of his soul. He inexplicably felt an ill foreboding and nauseous sensation. At the same time, an ancient voice pierced through the cycle of samsara. With my death as the price, I will make my killer fall into a nightmare of endless decay and wither. This is not good. The other 2 spiritual race God Lords grimaced. At the moment of the ugly old man's death, they felt a mysterious and unfathomable ancient power. The cursed words of death. It's actually a forbidden art from the ancient shaman race. The spiritual race patriarch gave a deep sigh. One had to realize that the ancient shaman race was the second-ranked forbidden race in the ancient era. Even the ancient race feared their strange and mysterious secret arts. A moment later, hiss! The second elder let out a muffled groan as he felt a mysterious and unfathomable force descending upon his body and penetrating into his soul. He instantly felt his entire body go numb, sore, burning. The cursed words of death that the ugly elder had laid down had descended upon the person who had killed him. The ugly elder could be said to have been suicidal and was obliterated by the second elder. Thus, the second elder became the target of the cursed words of death. How is it? The other two spiritual race god lords anxiously asked. The cursed words of death had extremely harsh conditions. Firstly, the user had to be skilled in the Soul Tao and also have some understanding of the ancient shaman race's secret arts. Secondly, the cursed words of death required death as the price to activate. Finally, if the carrier of death was too weak, the power of the cursed words of death would be average. The ugly elder was not a member of the blazing gold race and his bloodline was not very high, so the cursed words of death should not have been very powerful. But how could the blazing gold race do something they were not confident in? The second elder said nothing. At this moment, he sensed that his soul, divine power, and cultivation were all rapidly declining. The ugly elder's cursed words of death were apparently stronger than he had imagined. The cursed words of death are the final move we have prepared. Once activated, it can temporarily erase the fighting power of a god lord. Elder Jean heartily laughed. They did not hope that the ugly elder's cursed words of death could kill a god lord, only temporarily incapacitate them. The cursed words of death activated by this sacrificial warrior were refined from a damaged shaman artifact of the ancient shaman race. The other old woman also revealed a look of victory. The spiritual race patriarch had an extremely nasty grimace. It turned out that the blazing gold race had used a damaged shaman artifact of the ancient shaman race, which was why the cursed words of death were so powerful. Are you still my opponent now? God Lord Fire Cloud wickedly chuckled. The three spiritual race god lords had gloomy expressions. Although the second elder would not die from the cursed words of death, his strength and cultivation would rapidly decline. Right now, the second elder could only use 70 to 80% of his peak strength, and his strength was still rapidly declining. A battle between god lords was extremely dangerous. If the second elder continued to fight with God Lord Fire Cloud, his defeat would be assured. And the blazing gold race only needed to free up a single god lord to decide the outcome of this battle. Down below, the members of both sides still had no idea what had happened on the God Lord battlefield. The spiritual race members were still excitedly fighting with the blazing gold race. That energy just now? Zhao Feng focused his eyes on the God Lord battlefield. Just now, he sensed a familiar and disgusting energy. With his see-through ability, Zhao Feng could see what was going on with the 6 god lords. Second Elder, what's wrong? Zhao Feng noticed the second elder's abnormality and focused on him. Gradually, he was able to see through part of the second elder's divine body. He instantly grimaced. The cursed words of death. Chapter 1425. Kill him. The blazing gold race patriarch's eyes hardened. Now that the second elder's cultivation and strength had weakened, it was the best time to eliminate him. As long as they eliminated one god lord, the outcome of this war would be decided. Not good. The 3 spiritual race god lords had grim expressions as they pondered how to respond. But the blazing gold race would not give them time. Boom boom boom. In a flash, endless golden flames engulfed the world like a sea of fire that surged toward the 3 spiritual race god lords. Boom. The 3 spiritual race god lords worked together to defend, but they were still pushed back by the blazing gold race. Among them, the second elder's expression was even more embarrassed. He discovered that every time he used his power, he would weaken even faster. The massive change on the God Lord battlefield naturally attracted the attention of both sides. The blazing gold race God Lord has forced back the spiritual race God Lords. The second elder of the spirit tribe looks extremely weak. The blazing gold race members who had been on the verge of despair instantly saw hope. On the other hand, the people of the spirit clan were stunned on the spot. How could this be? Ancient God Origin Jade was astonished. Just when they believed that they had won, the blazing gold race God Lords used some sort of technique to force back the spiritual race God Lords. It seemed like the second elder's injuries were rather severe. He was probably no longer a match for the blazing gold race God Lord. "We have to help second elder," the third elder said with a determined look. The outcome of the battle between God Lords was far too important. Once the second elder was defeated, everything would be over. The third elder's decision received the approval of the spiritual race. They could not afford to lose on a God Lord level battlefield. Moreover, the battle between the upper echelons of the astrals had basically been settled. Relocating a portion of their forces to the God Lord battlefield was not a problem at all. In addition, an expert like Zhao Feng was naturally one of the forces that could resist the power of a divine master. "A bunch of ants, come and die." God Lord Fire Cloud couldn't help but jeer. "Second elder, we'll help you." The third elder led more than a dozen people to the second elder's side. Besides the third elder, there was another half-step God Lord in this group. Two of them were outstanding half-step God Lords of the spiritual race, while the others were peak rank 9s. "Alright." The second elder's face was slightly bitter. "Huiyun, kill that kid," the blazing gold race patriarch messaged. Just now, Zhao Feng's massacre of the blazing gold race had alarmed even a God Lord. The blazing gold race patriarch even wanted to personally kill Zhao Feng. But now, with Zhao Feng participating in the God Lord battle of his own accord, this was the perfect opportunity to kill him. "I don't need you to tell me that." God Lord Fire Cloud wickedly laughed. Boom! In a flash, God Lord Fire Cloud's body began to glow with a golden light. He was like a golden sun, exuding endless waves of fire. The golden flames instantly transformed into giant flaming hands that pressed forward. The overwhelming aura made it difficult for the peak rank 9 cultivators to breathe, as if their bodies were about to melt. At that moment, the second and third elders stepped forward and released a weak law energy to weaken the Divine Master's pressure. Heavenly Spirit Crystal Sword. With the third elder at the center, the rest of the spirit race clansmen all activated their bloodlines. In an instant, colorful bloodline radiance shone and solidified the void, forming a 5-colored crystal sword. Under the third elder's control, the multicolored crystal sword stabbed forward. This was a secret bloodline art of the spiritual race. By working together, they could use their bloodline to crystallize the surrounding space. Not only could they instantly form a defensive barrier like the Heavenly Spirit Crystal Wall, they could also form an offensive technique like the Heavenly Spirit Crystal Sword. Boom! Plush! The multicolored crystal sword, imbued with astonishing bloodline divine power, stabbed forward and pulverized all the giant flaming hands in its path. As expected of a secret bloodline art of the spiritual race. It truly is extraordinary. Zhao Feng's eyes focused. The Heavenly Spirit Crystal Sword used by the third elder could instantly kill an ordinary half-step God Lord and pose a threat to him. Just a bunch of rabble. God Lord Fire Cloud smiled, a dazzling golden hammer appearing in his hand. It was covered in the inscriptions of various beasts and exuded a dreadful and oppressive energy. Circulating divine power, he smashed his hammer against the third elder's Heavenly Spirit Crystal Sword. Cling-clang. A moment later, the multicolored crystal sword was sent flying by God Lord Fire Cloud, and the sound of shattering could be heard. So strong. The third elder's body trembled, a trickle of blood trickling down the corner of his lips. Although the spiritual race's secret bloodline art was powerful, it was still rather forceful against a blazing gold race God Lord. On the other side, while God Lord Fire Cloud was blocking the attacks of the third elder's group, the second elder and Zhao Feng attacked at the same time. A white scimitar appeared in the second elder's hand, and a light swing of it created fierce winds. Crystal whirlwind. The second elder gathered up his bloodline divine power and slashed out a massive crystal blade at God Lord Fire Cloud. At the same time, the Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword in Zhao Feng's hand swelled in power as he unleashed a bolt of Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning energy. A God Lord whose strength has been greatly reduced and a peak rank 9 can do anything to me. God Lord Fire Cloud swung his golden hammer. In a flash, waves of fire soared into the sky, and two giant flaming beasts charged out and pulverized the second elder's crystal blade. Time Law. Zhao Feng immediately communicated with the ancestral artifact fragment in his body and borrowed a sliver of Time Law energy. Time Intent was extremely powerful among intents, and the Time Law was an existence that countered all other laws. Zhao Feng fused the Time Law he borrowed with his own Time Intent and unleashed it. In the next moment, the fire beast that was charging towards him suddenly slowed down. Seizing this chance, Zhao Feng unleashed several more bolts of sword energy with his Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword. These Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning bolts moved with incredible speed because they also contained a sliver of Time Law energy. God Lord Fire Cloud had never imagined that Zhao Feng would be able to block his attack. By the time he reacted, Zhao Feng's attack was already upon him. Ding! Plush! Plush! The Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning bolts bombarded God Lord Fire Cloud's divine body, leaving pitch-black marks on his perfect golden body. Seeking death. God Lord Fire Cloud flew into a rage out of humiliation, his fury erupting like a volcano, shaking the world. In the distance, even the space-time robe-wearing Zhao Feng felt a burning sensation on his skin. After succeeding in this attack, Zhao Feng rapidly retreated. This old man will kill you first. God Lord Fire Cloud was enraged by Zhao Feng and charged at Zhao Feng. The second elder swung his white scimitar again and again. Zhao Feng had played a significant role in this battle, so he could not be allowed to die like this. On the other side, oh no! The third elder bellowed as he madly activated his spiritual race bloodline, causing even more white crystals to form in the surroundings. The newly condensed crystal quickly rushed into the colorful crystal sword, repairing the cracks on it and making it even more powerful. The rainbow crystal sword once more attacked God Lord Fire Cloud. Damn! Sensing the massive attack behind him, God Lord Fire Cloud was forced to stop. Although the second elder's cultivation had regressed, he could still display power far beyond that of an ordinary half-step God Lord. On the other side, the third elder's team was using secret spiritual race bloodline arts to attack even stronger than the weakened second elders. Since that's the case, I'll kill you first. God Lord Fire Cloud's face twisted in rage. In terms of speed, Zhao Feng was even faster than the weakened second elder, and the third elder's team was using secret bloodline arts, making it even more difficult for them to move. Fire Cloud Heaven-Shattering Beast. God Lord Fire Cloud gripped the golden hammer in his hands and poured enormous amounts of bloodline divine power into it. In a flash, the golden hammer exploded with a roiling cloud of fire. With a ferocious swing of the hammer, the huge cloud of fire directly transformed into a huge flame beast. Roar! The flame beast seemed almost tangible, and with a roar, searing waves of sound causing the world to quake. A portion of the second elder's attack was scattered. Boom! The fire cloud heaven-shattering beast howled as it charged forward, bearing its sharp fangs of golden flame as it clashed with the attacks of the second elder and third elder's team. In a flash, the crystalline blades of the second elder's team weakened, and the rainbow-colored swords of the third elder's team were shredded into crystal shards. In contrast, the fire cloud heaven-shattering beast grew larger and larger, its power astonishing. Roar! With a heaven-shaking roar, the fire cloud heaven-shattering beast shattered everything in its path and charged at the second elder and third elder. Oh no! The third elder vomited blood, his face ghastly pale. He was already injured, and he had used too much of his bloodline art just now, causing his injuries to worsen. At this critical moment, the second elder extended a hand and took out a white crystal pearl, within which was a frozen crystalline whirlwind. The second elder shattered the white crystal pearl. In an instant, a powerful law of wind rippled out. This sight caused the four god lords fighting in the distance to involuntarily raise their eyebrows. A massive crystalline whirlwind appeared, its power so great that even the fire cloud heaven-shattering beast was slightly affected. Boom! The enormous white whirlwind collided with the fire cloud heaven-shattering beast, its vast divine power mixed with wind law energy madly grinding apart the fire cloud heaven-shattering beast. A moment later, the fire cloud heaven-shattering beast was pulverized. God Lord Fire Cloud grimaced. Although the second elder's strength was gradually declining, he was still a god lord. He definitely had some life-saving cards. In the face of this terrifying attack, God Lord Fire Cloud's face darkened as he activated his defensive body. The flame tattoos on his bright golden body began to shine with an even brighter golden light, and the pressure of his flame physical body exploded outward. Boom! Bang! God Lord Fire Cloud activated his defensive body and the golden hammer in his hand as he swung it forward. At this moment, both his defense and physical body were at their peak. Boom! Bang! Crash! The two collided in a storm of fire that shook the world. A moment later, a searing flame energy soared into the sky, scattering the wind law energy. God Lord Fire Cloud charged forward. Although his body was covered in wounds, he didn't seem to have suffered any major injuries. In the distance, a trickle of blood trickled down the second elder's lips as he retreated. In his weakened state, activating his life-saving cards caused his strength to decline even faster. He no longer had the strength to interfere in a battle between god lords. On the other side, the third elder and the others had consumed too much of their spiritual race bloodlines and were also extremely weak. Kid, who can save you this time? God Lord Fire Cloud cast aside the second and third elders and focused on killing Zhao Feng. After all, the second and third elders had temporarily lost their fighting power and were no longer of much use. Hisses. The world was scorching hot, and the other intent energies gradually vanished. Wind, metal, and lightning intent energies could no longer be used, and Zhao Feng's speed plummeted. Boom! Behind him, God Lord Fire Cloud pressed forward, surrounded by endless waves of fire. Seeing this scene, the second elder, third elder, and the others who were retreating to the back revealed expressions of pity. Against a god lord, my advantage in speed is useless. Zhao Feng's eyes dimmed. Seeing that God Lord Fire Cloud was about to catch up, he could no longer hide. BZZ. In a flash, a strange layer of white time energy emerged from Zhao Feng's body. Chapter 1426. At this moment, the time law Zhao Feng was circulating was even stronger. If he used such a powerful time law to escape, he would be letting down the ancestral artifact fragment. Zhao Feng suddenly turned around, the Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Divine Sword in his hand exploding with power. Die! He gripped the sword with both hands and slashed. At this moment, God Lord Fire Cloud, who was in pursuit, was restrained by a time law and slowed down in all aspects. The time law is even stronger than before. What's going on with this kid? God Lord Fire Cloud's eyes focused, and he began to view Zhao Feng with even more importance. As he watched that incredibly fast sword descend, God Lord Fire Cloud hurriedly swung his golden hammer. Cling-clang. God Lord Fire Cloud blocked Zhao Feng's Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword. Although the fire law was inferior to the time law, it was still a law energy. Moreover, the time law that Zhao Feng was using was not very strong. Thus, God Lord Fire Cloud was extremely resistant to the time law. Junior, even if you have some time law energy, you can't deal with me. God Lord Fire Cloud couldn't help but smile. Although God Lord Fire Cloud had blocked his sword, Zhao Feng remained unperturbed. He did not draw back his sword, but instead continued to slash with all his strength. Junior, it's useless. Wait, you're absorbing my energy. God Lord Fire Cloud faintly smiled and prepared to jeer, but then he suddenly grimaced. He could sense that the bloodline and divine power he had unleashed were slowly fading away. Heh! Zhao Feng faintly smiled as he swiftly retreated. His primary goal just now was to absorb God Lord Fire Cloud's energy. However, the energy of a God Lord contained a law and was rather difficult to absorb, so it was not very effective. Thus, the stalemate lasted for a few moments. After Zhao Feng left, boom! A blazing and turbulent pillar of light pierced through the place where he had disappeared. This kid! God Lord Fire Cloud's expression darkened. He had never suffered so many losses at the hands of a junior before. The second elder, third elder, and the others, who had retreated extremely far away, were stunned. I didn't think that Zhao Feng alone would be able to exchange blows with a God Lord. The third elder couldn't help but exclaim. Of course, if he was at his peak, he would have been able to exchange a few blows with God Lord Fire Cloud, but he would have found it very difficult to emerge unscathed, much less make God Lord Fire Cloud suffer. However, God Lord Fire Cloud had also experienced a major battle, and he had even been injured by the second elder's trump card. Where exactly did Zhao Feng obtain this power of the time law? The second elder was more concerned about this. It was very difficult to believe that such a young junior had comprehended a time law, and Zhao Feng hadn't even become a God Lord yet. On the other side, the four almighty God Lords fighting were also in disbelief. It was extremely rare for a half-step God Lord to clash with a God Lord, and a peak rank 9 fighting with a God Lord was even more unheard of. What is this God Lord Fire Cloud doing? The blazing gold race patriarch's expression darkened. Now that the second elder and third elder had lost the ability to fight, God Lord Fire Cloud was actually unable to instantly kill the lone Zhao Feng. At this moment, bang! Zhao Feng and God Lord Fire Cloud once more clashed. Because the Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword had absorbed God Lord Fire Cloud's divine power, it was even stronger this time, causing God Lord Fire Cloud to be stunned. The absorption speed this time is even faster. Zhao Feng couldn't help but rejoice. His Chaos Origin divine power also contained fire intent. After absorbing the energy of the fire law the first time, it was much easier for him to absorb it a second time. Junior, the energy of a God Lord is very dangerous. God Lord Fire Cloud's face darkened as he bellowed. Boom! His entire body suddenly erupted with flame energy that could topple mountains and overturn seas, erupting like a volcano. Even the second elder had to be cautious when dealing with this terrifying power. This time, God Lord Fire Cloud was prepared and quickly launched a counterattack. The distant second elder and third elder saw this sight and felt their hearts leap into their throats, hoping that Zhao Feng could dodge. But to their surprise, Zhao Feng did not dodge. Space-time barrier. Zhao Feng activated the space-time robe and used a space-time combat skill. Layers upon layers of light began to emerge from the space-time robe. Moreover, Zhao Feng had used a sliver of a time law this time, greatly increasing the power of the space-time barrier. It also had a certain level of defense against God Lord attacks. At the same time, a dark silver halo of light began to form around Zhao Feng. At this moment, Zhao Feng had 3 layers of defense: the space-time barrier, the Chaos Heaven Void Ring, and the space-time robe. Kaboom! As the tyrannical flames pierced through the space-time barrier, the Chaos Heaven Void Ring's defensive and devouring abilities were activated. After absorbing energy from the outside world, the Chaos Heaven Void Ring's defensive capabilities could be further boosted. This kid, he was actually able to block my attack? God Lord Fire Cloud was stunned. He originally believed that even if Zhao Feng could dodge the majority of the attack, he would still be in grave danger. But to his surprise, Zhao Feng had taken it head-on. At this moment, the power of the space-time barrier was almost completely destroyed. Boom! A moment later, the endless flames struck the Chaos Heaven Void Ring, passing through it to the space-time robe. Boom! Bang! Although the space-time robe had blocked the damage, the impact of the flames still pushed Zhao Feng back a little. With this attack, I'll send you to the Yellow Springs. God Lord Fire Cloud roared as he charged forward, not giving Zhao Feng a chance to catch his breath. Although Zhao Feng had managed to block one attack, he had probably used all his strength. The second attack was certain to kill him. Boom! Bang! God Lord Fire Cloud swung his golden hammer, unleashing a golden cloud of fire from which several fierce flame beasts emerged. Chaos Origin Conversion. Zhao Feng was unhurried. The Chaos Heaven Void ring around him transformed into several silver streams that poured into the Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword. At this moment, the Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword in Zhao Feng's hand became extremely heavy, and it flickered with divine flames that seemed capable of shaking the world. He had done all he could to block God Lord Fire Cloud's attacks so that he could absorb his opponent's energy and strengthen the already powerful Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword. God Lord Fire Cloud couldn't help but tremble as he sensed the power of Zhao Feng's Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword. Bang! With a single slash of the sword, the flame beasts were obliterated. The sword then descended upon God Lord Fire Cloud's body, unleashing boundless energy that instantly broke through God Lord Fire Cloud's defenses and left behind a trail of golden blood. Ugh! How could this be? God Lord Fire Cloud screamed, a look of shock on his face. But when he thought about it, he understood everything. Zhao Feng had absorbed Tower's bloodline and divine power time and time again, but the power of this attack was actually able to break through God Lord Fire Cloud's own attack and wound him. Moreover, the damage inflicted by Tribulation Lightning was not that easy to repair. Unforgivable. Furious, God Lord Fire Cloud immediately began to burn his bloodline and divine power. The golden hammer in his hand exploded with a roiling cloud of fire. With a ferocious swing of the hammer, the huge cloud of fire transformed into a huge flaming beast. This was God Lord Fire Cloud's famed technique, the Fire Cloud Heaven-Shattering Beast. Zhao Feng, you can rest easy now that you have died to my famed technique. God Lord Fire Cloud savagely laughed. The Fire Cloud Heaven-Shattering Beast was so powerful that not even the combined efforts of the second elder and third elder could stop it. Moreover, Zhao Feng had already used up all the energy in his Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword. Even if he used his previous defenses, he would find it very difficult to block this attack. Roar! The flame beast seemed to have taken physical form as it roared, its scorching sound causing the world to quake. However, Zhao Feng didn't show any fear as he looked at the flaming beast. Bzzz. A powerful time law descended upon the Fire Cloud Heaven-Shattering Beast. At the same time, Zhao Feng focused his left eye on it and began to circulate it. This bloodline energy. God Lord Fire Cloud's face froze. At this moment, he sensed an incredibly powerful ancient energy from Zhao Feng's eye, one that was close to the top 10 ancient races. Roar! The Fire Cloud Heaven-Shattering Beast roared, unleashing the power of a fire law to resist the time law and then explosively charging forward. The Fire Cloud Heaven-Shattering Beast's hellish maw was about to swallow up Zhao Feng. God-eye. Illusory oblivion. Dreamy mist began to spin out of Zhao Feng's left eye and seep into the world. The Fire Cloud Heaven-Shattering Beast's enormous body seemed to be a transparent image made of dazzling bubbles. Extinguish! He gathered his consciousness, and his origin energy surged out. A moment later, the Fire Cloud Heaven-Shattering Beast's body crumbled and vanished. How could this be? God Lord Fire Cloud almost choked up. His supreme technique had vanished into thin air. This was even more shocking than when Zhao Feng had blocked his attack. Everyone around him, including the 4 battling God Lords, was also dumbfounded. Not even the second heaven God Lords could understand what had happened just now. At this moment, a dreamy silver eye of the heavens appeared in the sky, exuding a dreadful soul pressure. God Eye Duplication, Fire Cloud Heaven-Shattering Beast. A soul bellow resounded, and then the eye of the heavens began to exude a dreamy mist. Boom! A ferocious, fiery beast emerged from the dreamy mist of light, roaring. Its target was none other than God Lord Fire Cloud. No! God Lord Fire Cloud was dumbfounded as he was swallowed up by the Fire Cloud Heaven-Shattering Beast. Boom! The fire cloud scattered, revealing God Lord Fire Cloud's scorched body. At this moment he was still in a daze. Suddenly, a powerful soul energy approached, causing God Lord Fire Cloud's eyes to flash. A miniature Chaos Origin divine sword pierced through God Lord Fire Cloud's soul, causing him to grab his head and scream. Chaos Origin Tribulation Lightning Sword. Zhao Feng swiftly arrived, his massive sword slashing down. Swoosh! An indelible wound was left on God Lord Fire Cloud's body. After being heavily injured by Zhao Feng several times in a row, God Lord Fire Cloud's injuries were extremely severe. Zhao Feng's attacks were imbued with Tribulation Lightning and a Time Law. Injuries inflicted by Tribulation Lightning were extremely difficult to repair, and the Time Law made it even more difficult to repair them. In addition, Zhao Feng's bizarre techniques and the bloodline energy of one of the top 10 ancient races had deeply intimidated him. Run! Without another word, God Lord Fire Cloud transformed into a streak of golden flame and fled. Zhao Feng naturally wouldn't let God Lord Fire Cloud go so easily. Vish! Two streaks of light flew through the sky, one fleeing and one pursuing. However, the one fleeing was a God Lord while the one pursuing was a peak rank 9. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.